and funds to support survivors of abuse. You can complete it anywhere, anytime this March. Whether it's 1 mile or 20, every step you take will help more survivors get access to life-saving resources like counseling, legal aid, and other support services. Up today.
Okay.
/challenge. Together, let's go the distance for survivors.
I'm at the movies, asking people if they'll switch seats with me for $574.
Here, take mine.
So what about $574 if you switch your home insurance to Allstate?
Too much work.
Not if you call them. They handle the switching.
Now, that's a plot twist.
Shh. Check Allstate first.
Well, 20 seconds before. Well, okay. Never mind. All right. I got you.
Every state, based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to...
Yeah, no, I was talking in my own head.
Breaking news from Capitol Hill.
And iHeart makes it so easy to stay in the know with 24/7 news on iHeartRadio.
A major breakthrough in medical research.
Live around.
All right, hit it.
Minutes away from the stories that matter most.
Extreme weather is impacting millions.
24/7 News, right at your fingertips with the free iHeart app, where you can now make 24/7 News a preset for even quicker access. 24/7 News on iHeartRadio.
Portions of the following program are pre-recorded.
From the Ingalls studio, WPEK Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, W225CJ Candler, the #1 preset in your car, and the new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good. Live from the Ingalls studio.
I can't wait to play with myself every day.
The Sportsocracy.
Damn the devil to hell! Let the big dog eat! Let him on the field!
Come get you some of this.
Fire them cannons! By golly, put more powder in those things.
He couldn't take any more disappointment.
Oh my God. The Jets killed him.
It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy heard everywhere you go on the iHeartRadio app. Seen everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click that live video link, subscribe to the channel, and join us in the chat. It is a Friday. Thank God it's Friday. This seems like it's been the longest week in the world, and it might be because, I had to spend the night up here one night this week.
How'd that go for you?
It was not fun. I was not excited about it.
I woke up to a text from Richard Spencer IV that said, I slept in the radio station last night. I have to get some sleep. Can you handle this today? And I went, well, funny you said that, because I have my own things to handle today.
Yeah, we appreciate everybody bearing with us. But when news calls, I got to be there. And we are still keeping an eye on all of the wildfires around western North Carolina. Winds picking up again today, so we could see some of those wildfires spread. But yesterday was a good day of containment, so that was the good thing. We got some containment on some of these fires and getting everything under control. I mean, what they're dealing with down in Polk County right now with 2 wildfires that have burned over 6,000 acres. The giant fire that has burned like 10,000 acres just south of the North Carolina border in Greenville and Pickens counties has crossed over the border into western North Carolina and is still causing problems. We all send our thoughts and prayers out to all of the firefighters that are doing their best to save life and property, and hopefully no more property will be taken. But it's part of what we do. Here at iHeart Asheville and News Radio 570 WWBNC. When you need us and you need us to update you, we will be there. And sometimes that throws a wrench into our fun little plans over here on the sports station. But we are here nonetheless, ready to have some fun for a Friday, ready to kick off a weekend that's going to be chock full of pie-eating action tomorrow.
Yes.
Are you excited, Jeremy?
I'm ready to eviscerate your soul and contend with the bear himself.
We will be participating in the pie-eating contest tomorrow at the To Hell with Helene party for Bear's Smokehouse Barbecue. It's their grand reopening, and it's going to be a whole lot of fun. So we'll tell you more about that coming up later on in the program, and you are absolutely more than welcome to come on and join us tomorrow for some lighthearted, rage-releasing action down at Bear's Smokehouse Barbecue for the To Hell with Helene party. It all kicks off tomorrow on Cox Avenue, 135 Cox Avenue at 5 o'clock.
I also have an announcement about the 2025 NFL Draft.
Okay.
That I'm going to save it. And we will do it as breaking news when we start the 2:00 hour. If you are planning on joining us for the 2025 NFL Draft, I can now officially confirm who your 4-man band will be.
Okay. All right.
And we have a surprise. There's a surprise fourth.
There is a there's a plan being made for next month, the 2025 NFL Draft in Green Bay, Wisconsin. The Ingles living the dream tour, rolling on with our good friends at Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings. Clarissa sells WBNC.com. Parks Ford of Hendersonville as well. The mobile studio gonna be asked to do a little bit of work to get us up to Green Bay, Wisconsin next month.
The good thing is that the Airbnbs, the cost is coming down because I think people are going, hey, you know what people don't want to do? Take their vacation days to come to Green Bay, Wisconsin.
It's just, I mean, cheese is fun. Cheese is nice, but you gotta give me something else.
Yeah, it's springtime, and springtime in Wisconsin's not doing it for me.
Still going to be freezing to death up there. I can only imagine.
I don't know about that.
Hopefully, we'll get a break in the weather. But I mean, it's Wisconsin. I mean, winter lasts until June up there, doesn't it?
Well, and we will be staying on Lake Michigan, so.
Oh yeah. So we'll have a chance for some lake effect snow.
Sure.
Awesome.
We do have a very nice fire pit outside our Airbnb that I'm planning on I'm going to spend a lot of time there. Just looking at the lake and thinking about stuff. You ever just think about stuff? I'm planning on doing it for about 4 days.
Okay.
Specifically why the Jets want to kill me by taking Armand Membou at 7.
Oh, because, you just got to know that they're going to do it at some point, right? They're gonna let you down one way or the other.
Dad, after all those years of chasing girls, why did you get back into the Jets? Well, son, women, they won't always. Yeah, the Jets will always.
Yes, they will.
Always. 100 times out of 100.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Jeremy, did you partake in any basketball action last night?
Yeah, I watched Duke and went. Cooper Flagg looks like a guy that was in the AV club at his high school and had braces for way longer than he should have. He's also real good at basketball, like real good at basketball.
Right. He's kind of like the Nutty Professor. Like he looks like a total dork, but he will steal your soul.
Cooper Flagg looks like a guy that meets a girl in a bar and asks if she wants to come to his house to see his stamp collection.
That's right. And every night he drinks his magic elixir to turn him into a basketball god.
For sure.
As they shot 60% from the floor last night as a team, Duke beating Arizona and Caleb Love, despite his 35 points, 193. So Duke moving on to face Alabama, who just hit 25 three-pointers in a game.
28.
No,
the old record was 25. They hit 28.
No, the old record was 21.
Stand by.
By Loyola Marymount. Back in 1990, I believe it was.
Yes.
And then, Alabama raining threes last night, or as John Gruden would say, drilling threes against the BYU team, 113-88. So we got Duke and Alabama next. That's going to be the highlight. I'm calling it now. That's the highlight of the next round.
I'm going to call it right now. Duke is going to beat their brains out.
I don't know. I mean, if you shoot like that, you got a chance. You got a chance against anybody.
Oh, I know where I screwed up. They had 8 2-point field goals with like 2 minutes to go. Sorry, Daddy watched this one at the porch, and by that time the libations had taken over.
Right.
I remembered there was an 8.
Yeah. Duke and Alabama on Saturday in the Elite Eight with a chance to go to the Final Four, and then you'll have Florida and Texas Tech on the other side. That's not going to be fun. Texas Tech, though, pulling off the comeback against Arkansas.
John Calipari doing John Calipari things. Hey, well, look, we're good. We're awesome. We're beating your brains out. Oh, sorry.
He's a really good late season first 2 rounds of the tournament coach. Conference tournament coach as well.
I had turned that game off because I thought it was over. I'm looking at a 16-point lead with 10 minutes to go?
10 minutes, yeah.
And they could not stop Arkansas. And then it was like the offense just died.
They went on a 5-minute stretch there where they didn't score but 2 points, something to that effect, and allowed Texas Tech back in it. Texas Tech forced overtime and then beat them by 2 in overtime, 85-83. Now today you get Kentucky and Tennessee, which is the best game of the day. Ole Miss and Michigan State, Auburn and Michigan, Houston and Purdue. The other games in the Elite Eight. How's that? How those brackets doing?
You remember that thing I told you about being a chalky chalkerson? Yeah. After today, you're going to have 4 1s, 3 2s, and a 3. Congratulations.
Yes. And I hope you had that in your bracket.
I did. I had 7 of those 8 because I went 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2.
I did too. I had the only one that I have missing from my Elite Eight is St. John's.
Thanks, Patino.
Yep.
Didn't make me look like a jackal there or anything as I was telling people, bet on St. John's. Oh, you mean the 1-2 that's not here? Sweet.
Somebody always bows out early. And unfortunately for Ricky Pitino, it was his club. And then John Calipari. Yeah, that was not pretty. I wonder if that's still – it's still not up on my screen. Somebody had a recap of the last 5 tournament appearances for John Calipari, and it was – lost in the first round to a 15 seed, missed the tournament, lost to a 14 seed, lost in the first round, and then lost a 16-point lead in the Sweet 16 and got bounced out. That's not good. That's not a good track record for tournament play. But, man, he's hell on wheels in the conference tournament, isn't he?
Yes. I just watched last night going the difference between a 1 seed here and a 4 seed is aggressive.
It is a little much. Has been a little much. So today is the second half of the Elite Eight. We'll find out by the end of the weekend who the Final 4 is.
How many of these games are you going to watch tonight?
I will watch Kentucky and Tennessee.
I was going to go to that game. We were conspiring a way for me to go to the NIT because UT Chattanooga, the Southern Conference, is in the NIT semifinals.
Right.
You know what our impediment was? You remember that story that you did about the conference tournament in Vegas, or that maybe I did it, and Pat Forty or Bruce Feldman or one of those was complaining about where the media seating was?
Okay.
You ought to see where the media seating is in Indy. You're on the other side of the hockey rink, looking over the board 18 miles away from the floor.
Where's there a hockey rink?
So the way they do this at Lucas Oil, it is cut in half. So the basketball court goes horizontally across the football field. So and this is like inside baseball. Where we sit at the combine, the court's right in front of it, running north and south. On the other side of the field, there's a hockey rink. It's either a hockey rink or something for like a it looks like ice. I'm just assuming that's what it is because I can't think what else it would be.
Okay.
The media sits on top of where Pat McAfee is, on the opposite side of the field. I swear to Jehovah, I have good eyes. It would be like watching 10 ants fight over a piece of caramel. and I just went, I'm not doing it. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not driving 10 hours to see a basketball that's like the side of the inside of my fingernail.
Yeah,
no.
I've always hated that idea of having these events in those and I get that you have to do that because so many people want to attend the Final Four and big events like this. So you have all the things in place for these towns or cities to host these events. So
you want me to make it dumber for you?
What I'm saying is that Indianapolis is a great place to hold
100%.
Giant events like this. However, anything but football in that stadium, I don't think I'm really interested.
You want me to make it dumber for you?
Yeah.
You can only sit in half the stadium.
Yeah, that's
do the math. If you played it at the field house where the Pacers play, you lose like 4,000 seats total. Oh, and by the way,
That's it.
it's a basketball arena.
Mm-hmm.
There are sight lines in Lucas
Sight
Oil
lines
that I
matter.
swear to, and the seats are like $200 a piece, and you can't see a thing.
Yeah, I'm not interested. I've never been interested in the, hey, we're going to have a basketball game in this ginormous arena. I'll sit at home and watch it because I damn sure am not going to be able to afford a ticket to get close enough to make it worth my while. And I will watch it from home.
I never
Much
played
better
in.
advantage there.
I never played in one of those converted football stadiums.
Yeah.
But I've been on the floor, and the only thing I ever could think was, as a shooter, oh my God, those sightlines are horrible.
Yeah. How many times has that become a talking point in like national championship games? I believe it was the Duke Butler game. Wasn't that the one that was like 55-52?
Yes.
And Butler missed that half court shot.
Yes.
But I think the big talking point coming out of that was nobody could hit anything, couldn't hit water off a bridge that whole Final Four weekend because sightlines. That's what we ended up talking about.
So if you ever want to know, is this a good sightline or a bad one? When they show that angle that goes, the camera pans from the sideline and it goes basket to basket. Look from the corner, right there in the very corner where the three-point shooters love to shoot from. Look at what's right past the basket. Because you got to understand, this is an orange rim that's not real thick. Look at what you're looking past. If it's going into the tunnel, which very often it is, you have no shot. Steph Curry can't shoot in that because it is impossible to get your eyes and your brain to assess depth because you don't have anything. You're used to there being people there or a wall or whatever the case may be. When there's nothing there, you feel like you're shooting into the ocean.
And that becomes pretty dangerous when you have a team that is pretty predicated on hitting long-range shots, and you get into a situation. I just don't like it. I think I'm a firm believer that basketball belongs in basketball venues.
I didn't hate it until I went down the rabbit hole with media relations for Lucas Oil, and they sent me where I would be sitting, and I went, oh no, I will not be doing that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So
thank you for your interest in Mullet attending your event, but he will not be able to attend.
Yes. So hopefully the top seeds will be moving on for me and Jeremy's sake, and our brackets will get better. That percentage wasn't looking great, but then as you got down to the, you getting down to the Elite Eight, Final Four, and you still got 7 of 8 teams alive, you kind of feel better about screwing up some of those in the earlier rounds of the bracket games. Did you catch any baseball yesterday, Jeremy?
No.
Really? Did you do your homework for your big update today?
I did. We'll do that in the third hour of the show.
All right.
Talking about the Oakland Athletics. We will be their official media members for the 2025 baseball season. Let's go.
I got your music all ready for that. So
do you really?
Just pulled off a little something.
You did not tell me that. That is very exciting for me.
It's a nice little, background music for the most ridiculous segment that we've added to the program in a long time.
For sure.
The daily Oakland A's update as they opened the season last night. I mean, first day of baseball didn't have, had some pretty good action. You had some games go down to the wire. The Red Sox, of course. We got a lot of Red Sox fans in the chat, I know. Came up with a win in the 9th inning last night against the Texas Rangers. Wilyer Abreu, twin dad, just 10 days after his twin boys were born. He did the same thing his wife did. Gave birth to double dingers last night. 2 home runs in the game. And he dedicated it to the boys, which, of course, as a twin dad myself, touches my heart. That not only he plays for my team, but he dedicated the homers to his twin boys. So
I need somebody to cut what he just said because that was a thing you did.
What?
Double dingers. I know what you did. They may not have figured it out. I know what you did.
It's just he did it, not me. Just spitting facts here. Straight facts here in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we've got A-plus mock drafts to take care of in today's program. We're going to start at the bottom of the first round. So we'll start with the Chiefs and the Eagles. We'll give you the A-plus mock drafts for them, and we've got position-by-position rankings, draft prospect rankings to continue here. We'll do running backs and safeties today with at ESPN Draft Nerd Jeremy Greene. And don't forget, you can check out all of the latest rankings and mock draft goodness at NFLDraft.net. We'll be right back.
If you or a loved one have been a victim...
And we're clear.
The North Carolina Department of Public Safety Office of Victim Compensation Services provides programs to help you find peace of mind. We are here to help you apply for benefits that you may qualify for to recover from hardships such as lost wages and medical expenses. To learn more, visit ncdps.gov/4victims. That's ncdps.gov/4VICTIMS.
When you're in the thick of a project, Harbor Freight is the place that always comes in handy. Whether you're picking up something for your pickup truck or a power tool for your project, at Harbor Freight, your dollar always goes further. And these days, when everything seems to cost more, you can take pride in knowing that you get hard-working tools at hard-working prices. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Babbel. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at babbel.com/TNC.
I thought I'd book a trip to Italy to celebrate retiring.
We didn't speak Italian.
We didn't then. We do now. Because of Babbel.
Babbel is the easy-to-use app that uses immersive lessons to teach you a new language in a way that sticks. Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you text radio to 64,000. That's radio to 64,000. Text radio to 64,000.
What's up, everyone? It's Greg Rosenthal, and I'm teaming up with the king of spring, Daniel Jeremiah. He requires me to say that. We're going to be bringing you 40s and Free Agents, the only podcast you'll need this NFL draft season. From DJ's mock drafts to my top 101 free agents, we'll have it covered for you with all new episodes every Thursday, keeping you up to date as we head to the NFL draft. Listen to 40s and Free Agents on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Follow 40s and Free Agents and start listening on the free iHeart Radio app today.
Looking to buy or sell in Western North Carolina? At Clarissa Sells WNC, we're proud to be the #1 real estate team in Buncombe County, selling over 100 homes in 2024. We represent both buyers and sellers, and with a person.
All right, are we doing Eagles?
Needs.
At Clarissa Sells
We'll
WNC,
do it in the last
real
segment.
estate
We don't
isn't
have
about
enough time in this little
It's about people.
8-minute segment.
Call me today.
Are we going to do both in the last segment? Or
No, we'll do one next hour and one
When it
this
comes
hour.
to real estate,
We'll do safeties in the next hour because I don't need 3 full segments for safeties.
Okay, all right.
They're not good. That's why I did this way. Linebacker works the same way, just to be clear.
Releasing benefit party, appropriately named.
Now, running backs I can talk about for 4 hours. So you'll have to keep me on pace with that one.
Pie eating,
right on.
bull rides. There'll be live music and, of course, great barbecue. Proceeds from the party will support Linked for Life, a mental health initiative. Say to hell with Helene with us at Bear's Smokehouse grand reopening downtown March 29th.
It's the moment you dream of, the moment you work for, train for, run wind sprints when nobody's watching for, the moment when hours of gym time, court time, prep time, all culminate into this time. The moment when millions of bounces, blocks, and boards all add up to this, your moment. Ingalls, we're with you every step of the way.
The Sportsocracy.
We treat star athletes better because they're better people.
That's not fair!
Life isn't fair, kiddo. Get used to it.
It is ESPN Asheville, the Sportsocracy, coming to you live from the Ingalls studio and the NFLDraft.net. Mullet Manor. Also, I see Stephen Towle in the YouTube comments today. To throw out his Baltimore Orioles got a lift yesterday from old Tyler O'Neill, who hit an opening day home run for the 6th season in a row. That's pretty incredible to be able to have a streak like that. He's never had an MLB opening day where he didn't hit a home run. It's absolute insanity. And he's done it in various ballparks. It's never the same ballpark. And not with the same team either. First 4 years he was with St. Louis. Last year he was with Boston. And now he did it with the Baltimore Orioles. So I guess we'll have to wait a whole calendar year to see if he can make it 7 opening day home runs in a row. It was a pretty good start to the season, though. I mean, as somebody mentioned in the YouTube comments, the White Sox started with a win. They only had 9 of those last year, so
they didn't mean
they're
to.
Doing well.
They didn't mean to.
They're turning things around on the South Side. Come on, Jeremy. It's their year.
Tens and tens of people care
to win 20 games.
Woo!
Have we had anything other than Brian Dable AI post game?
Oh, it's so good. I didn't sign up for Carlton Banks and Jar Jar Binks. Oh my God. I don't know who wrote that. You are a sadistic, hilarious human being.
AI is so mean.
AI is great, and I'll tell you, the other thing I didn't know I needed was John Gruden opening swag boxes from different colleges. Hearing him talk about Jacksonville State, it's a Gamecocks, man. It's got some sweet, and I will say, I do love how expressive his face is. Of if it's crap, you know it's crap, because he pulled one out that just said Jack State, and he went, solid, man. And that thing didn't stay up for a tenth of a second.
Solid.
Then he got into the one that said Gamecocks real big, and he went on a little rant that I can't say here, but you can infer it.
Nice. Yeah. The reveal. He's getting pretty good at the. Did it take him 18 minutes to open the box like it did on the Kentucky one that I watched?
I just love that he can't open a shoebox. Like John Gruden has apparently never opened a shoebox in his life because he doesn't understand there's a little flap. Loop. He just rips into him.
Struggle. Yeah. The box that Kentucky basketball sent him, Coach Pope sent him this box with a whole bunch of cool swag in it. But the box was like quadruple taped at every seam, where they go down the sides of the box as well as the flaps on the top. It was completely like hermetically sealed, and he's trying to open it with his bare hands. It's one of the funniest things about that video is just him trying. First, he gets like a screwdriver. Like, he didn't grab any of the pins on his desk. He grabs a screwdriver and tries to like poke a hole in it, and then he poked like 2 holes and then tried to like squeeze his fingers in and rip the tape open. Like, you've never done this before, have you? You used to have assistants that opened all your packages.
Miss Linda, man. Linda was really good about getting those shoe boxes open. It didn't have to do it myself. Why are we putting tape on shoe boxes, man?
All these cutbacks, he can't afford to pay Linda anymore.
I miss her every day.
He lost the NFL salary, and that's actually what all the lawsuits are about.
She's working at a dentist office in Boca Raton now. But you know what she listens to at that dentist office? Migos, man.
Migos.
Got her on Migos.
Changed your life. He is so ridiculous. It's funny. It's funny who can become a social media star, quote unquote, these days.
Oh, I mean, for me, that's just confirmation that we're living in the Matrix, because there is some like 14-year-old boy that thinks it's hilarious that John Gruden has become a social media star.
I'm much older than 14 years old, and I think it's hilarious.
Oh, it cracks me up pretty good, dude. So,
I mean, you got Jameis Winston out here becoming a star during the Super Bowl, which I don't know. Hey, maybe the New York Giants can convert his contract into like a TV deal or something. Do they have the tie-ins with like the Yes Network that the other New York teams do, or?
No, that would be the Yankees Network. That's what
Well,
yes stands for.
TV time somehow.
Oh yeah, I mean they have. Trust me, there's plenty of television stations in New York.
Right, but I'm saying, let's go draft a quarterback, and then we'll just convert Jameis's contract into a TV contract.
Oh, I am glad you brought up the Giants though, because I went down a rabbit hole yesterday of the Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston thing. Does that actually take them off Shedeur Sanders? And the answer is no.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you want to explain that?
I'm telling you what I was told is that the Giants
just we're gonna.
Well, I've known forever. Our buddy Matt Miller at ESPN National posted they did a draft buzz thing, which, by the way, okay, just say you heard it from us. It's fine. Because literally it was one of those guys I talked to quite a bit, and I felt like every one of the answers was I said that to you. That's beside the point. But one of them was the worst kept secret in the NFL is that the Giants are in love with Shedeur Sanders. I know. I told you that 3 months ago.
Which again just doesn't make sense to me. If you're in love with him, why did you spend the money that you spend on quarterbacks? Oh well, it still doesn't make sense.
Well, you have to spend the money somewhere.
You do one or the other. I don't feel like you should have done both.
Okay, so elaborate.
I get Jameis didn't cost you much.
No, Jameis cost you nothing.
Well, it was a $4 million a year deal? Something like that?
No, it was 2 years, $4 million. Or no, you're right. It was $4 million a year.
Yeah.
But there were incentives there, and Russell's is incentive laden too. His is only like $10 million when you really break it down.
Yes, the guaranteed money is like 10.5.
The way it was said to me is that basically signing Jameis and Russell was a buffer to preclude Shedeur Sanders from having to hit a field before week 13. Because even if Russell Wilson comes in and he's terrible, we can just go to Jameis Winston.
Right.
Because the Giants love Shedeur. They still feel the same way I do. He's nowhere near ready to play quarterback in this league.
All right, you're in the Sportsocracy, and this is CSPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Your one-stop shop for the Draftmas season. When we come back, we will get just a bit outside, and then we will assign, or Jeremy will assign, the A-plus mock draft for the Philadelphia Eagles.
This is your extra
clear
weather forecast on
Thank
ESPN Asheville.
The dry weather continuing now, but we do have some hope of the forecast for a little bit of rainfall.
Starting with the Eagles.
Upper 70s today, some clouds.
Yes, sir.
But I think sun winds becoming overcast tonight, mid-50s. Tomorrow, cloudy, breezy, 75. Some showers in as we look ahead towards Sunday, especially in the afternoon. Could be thunderstorms by Sunday night. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic from the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Newcomb Tree Service.
For over 20 years, Newcomb Tree Service has been Asheville's trusted choice for tree removal, trimming, and emergency service. Fully insured, free estimates, and financing available. Call Newcomb if you need them. 828-777-1226. If you can't cut them, they'll nuke them.
Tractor Supply knows that a winning season takes practice, teamwork, and a can-do attitude. Thankfully, when you have a neighbor like Tractor Supply, teamwork comes easy. Whether you're caring for pets, chickens, or a few acres, our team members will help you succeed. Season after season. Tractor Supply. For life.
Don't miss Neon Tree live March 31st. See you at the PO.
Taxes was not knowing your full financial picture. Now Taxes is getting and maximizing your refund all in one place. Credit Karma. We're a TurboTax expert and do your taxes for you. They'll get you the most money back, guaranteed. Then you can do more with all that money, all in Credit Karma. Now this is Taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. Get started today. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
It's the moment you dream of. The moment you work for. Train for. Run wind sprints when nobody's watching for. The moment when hours of gym time, court time, prep time, all culminate into this time. The moment when millions of bounces, blocks, and boards all add up to this. Your moment. Ingalls, we're with you every step of the way.
In the aftermath of Hurricane Helene, we found out a lot of things about our community. We saw neighbors helping neighbors, and we learned in desperate times one of the best things to have around is a redneck with a chainsaw.
Not just a chainsaw, boy, just country boys in general. When you live in these mountains, you figure it out. Like, you make stuff happen.
After answering the calls for help that they heard on the radio, the Chainsaw Brothers are still here, making it happen the right way. Fair, insured, and local. Need tree help? Call the Chainsaw Brothers. 316-1013. 316-1013.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville, introducing you to this month's Parks Community Heroes, Corey and Kristen Short and the entire team at Silverados, who converted their music venue in Black Mountain into a donation and distribution zone in the wake of Hurricane Helene. Corey and his team founded Valley Strong Disaster Relief, dedicated to providing essential support to our neighbors in need. Nominate your Parks Community Hero at parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
We are back at the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. Time to get just a bit outside, and Jeremy Pruitt's back in the news. Jeremy, the old Tennessee football coach.
The old McDonald's bags himself.
That's right. That's right. It wasn't him, though. He swears, I had nothing to do with it. I mean, despite the fact that, you had people who, testified or were deposed who said that, me and my wife were both handing over bags of cash to people. He says he had nothing to do with it. The whole thing was in place before he got there. Tennessee was paying players long before Jeremy Pruitt ever got to town, and he was just a patsy. He was just the fall guy. They pinned it all on him. And then they took the rap because it got him out of his contract. They could fire him with cause and not have to buy out the contract if they just let the machine take over, right? It got on the radar that they were handing out bags of cash, and they went, yep, it was him. It's that guy, Jeremy Pruitt. He did it. He did it all. I don't believe any of this story. The lawsuit has been filed, and Jeremy Pruitt is suing the NCAA and seeking how much money?
Oh, $100 million.
You saw the story.
I did. I did. And I laughed a lot when I read it. But here's where you're still not understanding how law works. You still did it. It doesn't matter why you did it. You did it. That would be like killing somebody and say, well, he told me to. He's probably guilty of something, yes, but you still did it.
Exactly. Jeremy, if you got caught selling crack on the street today, what would happen to you?
Well, I mean, this is a really interesting story because I don't even know what crack looks like. So where did I get the crack? How did this all transpire? Was there a meeting in a dark alley somewhere? I need more backstory here to know what would happen.
You get caught by the cops selling crack today, you're going to jail.
Right? For sure.
Right. Now, tomorrow, if somehow the state of North Carolina lost its mind and everybody in Raleigh decided, you know what, crack's now legal.
So Oregon.
And they went, exactly. They went full Oregon and went, you know what, crack's legal now. Jeremy, do you get out of jail?
No, you still sold crack when it was not legal.
Precisely. That's part of the argument here is that, things I was in trouble for, they're not even illegal now. And I will go down in history as the last guy to be punished under these rules, which is ridiculous, isn't it, guys?
Hey, this was America. This is America. Yeah, you still committed a crime.
Wow.
Dumb.
Wow. I mean, I will go, I will say this. In Jeremy Pruitt's defense, or in his favor, I will say I would be okay with the NCAA coming in and saying, okay, that whole show cause thing, that's done. Like, we're not precluding you from having a job anymore.
Well, no, what's precluding him from having a job is that he's not good at it.
Well, I mean, he would still get a job somewhere. He would still be like the Akron head coach. It's just, right now, nobody can hire him because they got the show cause thing, and nobody wants to pay for that. At least nobody that would hire Jeremy Pruitt, right? Like, when you go up to the big level and you fall on your face, you got to go back down to the little guys and build yourself back up again. Especially if you leave that big job in disgrace.
I would currently hire Jeremy Pruitt if I was having a backyard barbecue to be the guy that manned the grill. Because of all people I've ever seen in my life, he looks like the guy that would throw on his New Balances and stand at that grill and go, you don't want to flip it too early. You don't want to let the juices go. Because that's where everybody else screws up. I got this.
Squeeze that burger. No.
Don't you put that spatula on that burger. I will kick you in the face.
Now get me a beer.
Now go get Pawpaw beer, and we'll talk about all the other ways you've disappointed me over the years.
$100 million he wants for the NCAA. He will get none of it. I feel certain about that.
Tank, on this here program, we talk predominantly about what?
Football.
Why is that?
Because football rules.
Football does rule.
It rules the ratings. It rules what people talk about. It rules the interest of the average sports fan these days.
Now, why would you say that is? Is it because football is so good? Mm-hmm. Is it because everything else is so bad? Or is it a combination of the two?
All of the above.
I agree. I have two stories about other leagues that did dumb things, and it makes me laugh. Adam Silver did this was an interview at the league meetings. And he was talking about the NBA All-Star game. And they asked him what he thought about it. And he said, I thought we made almost immeasurable progress. Sitting there, I thought this was a little better, but it was a miss. Talking about the tournament style. We got the Rising Stars and the G League, and it was dumb. It was ridiculously dumb. All right, so you could admit it was a miss. Somehow, that's still not the biggest story of, oh my God, how do we keep letting you be a thing? Yesterday was opening day for Major League Baseball, right?
Yes.
You do realize that the first regular season game was in Japan 10 days ago, right?
Yes.
You see how stupid that sounds when you say it out loud? So the regular season started 10 days ago. Nobody knew. We are sports guys, and I learned that just now.
Well, you should pay attention more.
Well, if I cared, I probably would. They also had a slew of their games last night. That opening pitch was at 7:07. Hey, what else happened at 7:07 last night?
Basketball.
The first game of March Madness tipped off at the exact same time.
Sure.
I would think if you had a brain in your head, you would go, hey, you know what we should do on opening day? Day games. All day games. Because I don't want to compete with CBS having March Madness with Duke going up against our product that doesn't rate particularly well in the first place. But that's not even the dumbest thing you did. MLB TV has an app. Did you know that?
I do.
Yeah. Okay. So you can watch baseball games on the app.
Yes.
If you're out of market, whatever the case may be, you pay a subscription fee and you can watch your team on the app. First of all, I think the average baseball fan doesn't know what an app is. They probably have a jitterbug phone that calls their children and 911. But that's beside the point. What happened to the app yesterday?
It probably crashed.
It crashed. When did it crash?
At 8 o'clock.
4 minutes into the opening games.
Nice.
Your app lasted 4 minutes. 4.
Yeah.
This is why why do we keep letting you be a thing?
See, that just goes to show you the interest was so great that they broke the server.
Yeah, I'm going to go out on a limb and say it probably wasn't. I would wager most baseball fans probably plug their computer into the wall. Hey, we got the desktop in the den. It's on the duvet.
Mm-hmm.
It's beside the Charleston. While we do the Charleston.
You told you.
Talk about the good old days, the 40s.
This just in. Jeremy doesn't know what a duvet is.
I do not know what a duvet is. You know why? Because I'm not 90.
That's a blanket that you put on your bed. Go ask your wife. She'll tell you.
I'll guarantee you my wife does not know what a duvet is.
Oh, I'll guarantee you she does.
I'll ask her in the break.
And the moment you say it, she's going to go, oh, you know what? We should get a goose down duvet. I've been always wanted one of those.
Have you met my wife?
Yeah, she loves giant fluffy blankets. And that's exactly what a duvet is.
My wife got a giant fluffy blanket. I got her a weighted blanket for Christmas. There shan't be another blanket bought in this house because that one weighs about 43 pounds and she's under it a lot. She's probably in her office right now through that wall underneath that blanket because she has complained about it being cold in here since about 8 o'clock this morning.
Well, yeah, because you live there.
Yes.
You are Mr. Freeze.
I came home. I can't remember what day that was. I came home, whatever day it got randomly cold, like it had been warm every day and then it got stupid cold. I walked in the front door. She had been gone most of the day. I walked in the front door and my house was 59 degrees.
And
I went, ooh, somebody should turn on the heat. Or I could just sit here in this. And that's what I did. I took the old pants off, sat on the couch, just as comfortable as could be.
Ugh.
Look,
we didn't need that description.
Hey, listen here, Nips. I get to see you change shirts on this here screen when other people can't see it because I have the common courtesy to put a screen up so they don't see that. If we're talking about anybody's nudity doing something to somebody else's brain, it would be yours to mine, not the other way around.
No, I beg to differ.
I mean, I didn't say mine was a coming attraction that you were going to the Cinemark to see, but still, if you're telling me one of them's going to lead to reversals of fortune, it's two, not me.
I'm not the one trying to share all my sitting around in my skivvies with the
Oh,
public.
it's glorious. And by the way, there's glorious. Just so you know, there's no there's no governor on the AC unit in the house we're staying at in Green Bay. I'd pack a blanket.
Yeah, we're gonna fight that fight.
You're gonna fight that. You're gonna lose that fight. I'll throw you in Lake Michigan. Are you cold now? Get in that water, see how cold you are.
Oh boy, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. Eagles, they won the Super Bowl this past year.
They did.
The offseason, I'm having a hard time, really seeing how they lost out on the offseason. I feel like they made some good moves. What's the A-plus draft scenario for the Philadelphia Eagles?
Well, you look at Philadelphia, and the thing that they do better than anybody, they address needs a year in advance. So they added Nolan Smith 2 years ago. They drafted Alex Hunt last year. And what did that allow them to do? Oh, Josh Sweat's going to get $80 million from the Cardinals. Cool. We will pat him on the head and wish him the bestest of luck. So what do you do now? I mean, right now, I've got team needs for every team in the NFL. Right now, I feel like Philadelphia still needs to address that guard spot where Mekhi Becton left. I get it. You got Tyler Steen. You added Kenyon Greene. I don't really think those are high-level solutions. I also don't really think there's going to be a guard there in the first round. I don't see a path that Philadelphia doesn't come on the clock at 32, and one of the names I'm getting ready to say is still there. Mike Greene, Mykel Williams, Donovan Ezeraku. One of those three guys is going to still be there. Mike Green's is because of character red flags. And I'm not going to lie to you, I don't think Philadelphia cares. If you let that kid, or James Pierce Jr., I didn't say him because I don't think he's going to be there, but he might be. I saw a mock draft yesterday that had him go at 49. Now, I did email them and go, why do you allow someone that smokes crack to do mock drafts on your website?
Precisely.
You ought not do that.
there is zero chance that James Pierce would fall past 32. If he's still on the board for the Philadelphia Eagles, they will 100% draft him.
No doubt. I mean, Philadelphia's in the best situation ever because you're in a draft that has Abdul Carter will obviously be gone. I can't definitively tell you any of the others will be. I think JPJ will be. Mike Greene should be, but none of us can debunk these rumors about him. I don't know if they're true. That's why I have never said them, but I've heard them. Donovan Ezraku's a little undersized, but he fits nicely in a 3-4. I think he'd be a really good standing edge. Nick Skirton, hurting for a scouting, is a possibility. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, to me, Philadelphia's in the best situation in this draft because I just sit here and wait to see what you let fall in my lap. Now, let's play devil's advocate and say, all right, all the edges are gone. What does that mean? What does that mean if there are no edges there for Philadelphia?
Well, then they would have their pick of other options or other positions of need.
Yeah, so I made a list of all of the guys that I have seen fall out of the first round. Kenneth Grant. Seen him not in the first round more than once. Walter Nolan. I've seen him not in the first round more than once. Shamar Stewart. Seen him fall out more than once. Savon Ravel, excuse me. Mm-hmm. Trey Amos, Nick Eamon-Warry. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Whatever you let fall in my lap, that's what I'm going to take. Malachi Starks, I've seen that more than once. Is safety the biggest need for Philadelphia? No, but I don't care. Do you know how hard it was for me to figure out 5 things Philadelphia actually needed?
That's why they're so good, though.
For sure.
That's why they're such a good team and why they are able to or were able to win a Super Bowl this past year is because they don't really have that glaring need. It's hey, let's see what the best player on the board is and what's the value that we can put him at. Could you imagine Walter Nolan with the other defensive tackles on this team?
Oh, it would him playing as a 5 tech? Are you kidding me?
With Jordan and Jalen?
Are you kidding me? He's got Jalen Carter on the inside of or on the opposite side of him, and they're running whoever at nose tackle. They've got a hand of Jordan Davis or Moro Ajomo. Are you with Jalix Hunt and Walter and Nolan Smith coming behind you? We would look at that for the next 10 years and go, how do we keep letting this happen?
Mm-hmm. Advantageous position for Philadelphia at the end of the first round just to be able to grab the best player available. So then what do they do from there on?
Well, I think at some point in this draft, they're going to address the other outside corner. One of the things that I really like doing is look at who you've had in the building. So we're at that point of top 30 visits are starting. I know who you talk to at the combine. I know who you talk to at pro days and things like that. You know what's really it really jumps out to me? They've talked to a lot of offensive linemen. Jalen Travis from Iowa State did a top 30 visit there. Marcus Membou from Purdue. I think he would be great for them with that second round pick at 64. And then you add a running back in the third round. I mean, because look, there are a million running backs in this class. I love the idea of them winding up with DJ Giddens from Kansas State in the third round. I had them taking one of the Ohio State guys in the second round. But the more I thought about it, it makes more sense to take that guard at 64, and then you can just fill out high-end, not necessarily risky, but high upside guys. I mean, because they have 5 picks on day 3. Have you looked at Philadelphia's draft capital? It's one of the weirdest things I've ever seen.
I have not paid attention to it.
So they pick at 32, 64, 96. Those are all their picks.
Yep.
In day 3, they pick 5 times between 134 and 168. They have no other picks.
Wow.
From the last pick of the 4th round to the 30th pick of the 5th round, they pick 5 times. Do you realize how good the 5th round of this draft is? I mean, I'm just looking at my board of guys that I think are going to go in the 5th round that would be good fits for Philadelphia. If you hadn't addressed running back, I have about 8 of them that belong there. Whether it's LaQuint Allen, who has some of the best hands in this class, Ollie Gordon II, who's really good between the tackles. You're going to add a receiver in there at some point. That's where Dante Thornton, Tez Johnson, Arian Smith out of Georgia, that's where they all fit in. You could add a tight end. I love the idea of them pairing Tommy Fedone from Nebraska with Dallas Goedert. And then you take a project offensive lineman, whether it's Dylan Fairchild from Georgia, Joshua Gray. If you want to take a tackle, because they seemingly have talked to a lot of those, that's where Logan Brown, Jack Nelson, and Chase Lunt all kind of fall in. The world is your oyster if you're Philadelphia, and you should walk away from this draft with 8 guys that make your roster. I mean, you got to understand, a 7th, and this is beautiful by Howie Roseman, a 7th round pick has almost no shot of making the Philadelphia Eagles roster. So what do? He got rid of them all.
Yep.
Why would I waste the pick? I'll move up. I moved up in that deal where I traded out C.J. Gardner-Johnson for Kenyon Greene. Kenyon Greene's not going to start for them. That's a developmental piece that Houston took too high, and I'm going to take as a depreciated asset. Oh, by the way, I moved up in the 5th round, so now I have an extra pick. They go 161, 164, 165, 168.
Wow.
By the way, pick 180 is where there is a substantial drop-off in this class, in my rankings, of what you're getting. There is a huge fracture right there. Philadelphia's going to get 8 guys in the top 168. They'll probably get 8 guys that are in my top 150 if I were a betting man.
Mm-hmm. And knowing their scouting department, 6 of those guys will play major roles next year.
For sure. And just for a point of reference, my 150th ranked player right now is Cody Simon from Ohio State, who I'm really high on because he just always seems to be around the ball. You're going to get 8 guys that good or better.
Mm-hmm. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. Follow NFLDraft.net for all the latest on the draft from this season. When we come back from the break, we will talk about the team picking at number 31, A-plus mock draft for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Your stomach is a mess and you feel lousy.
And we're clear.
You know what? Yeah, we get it. You've tried every fad diet and supplement under the sun, and none of it worked. Here's the truth. Your gut's a mess, and your body is letting you know. You're just too busy, and you ignore the signs, making it worse. Viome gets straight to the point, analyzing your gut microbiome to give you a personalized health plan that actually works. Your gut is how your body processes everything that you consume. Stop ignoring the signs. It's time to do something real. Get Viome and fix your gut now. Call STAR Gut to get $50 off a full body intelligence test. That's ** 488 to receive a link to the offer.
Listeners are always asking about QC Kinetics treatments. They want to know if they should consider it for their joint pain. If you're wondering if you are a good candidate, let's see if you answer yes to any of these questions. First question, is your quality of life impacted by chronic pain in your knees, hips, shoulders, or other joints? Trouble sleeping, walking day-to-day movement. Next, do you want to avoid surgery and all of the pain, long recovery, and uncertainty that comes with it? And most importantly, do you miss doing things you love because joint pain is holding you back? Walking, golfing, jogging? If you answered yes to any of those, I'd bet you're a great candidate. So please don't wait. Call QC Kinetics right now. Ask for your free consultation. Learn how the latest advances in regenerative medicine can get you lasting pain relief with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. Call 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517 in Asheville and Greenville.
I'm at a smoothie bar asking people if they'd switch smoothies with me for $574.
Oh, I'll switch.
So what about $574 if you switch your home insurance to Allstate?
That's a headache.
Nope, it's painless.
Oh, so it's easy money.
Yep, check Allstate first and you could save hundreds on quality home insurance today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings vary.
Nationally.
The word has been out nationally, affecting all Americans.
Globally.
The world is on fire, folks.
Locally.
This just happened across my street.
For all the happenings.
Inflation. Illegals. Homelessness.
Crime. News Radio 570 WWNC.
Buying or selling a home doesn't have to be stressful. Let me, Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, your local real estate expert, guide you every step of the way. Whether you're searching for your dream home, looking to sell quickly, or exploring investment opportunities, I've got the experience and the tools to get you the best deal possible. Call me, Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty at 828-774-6343. Let's make your real estate dreams a reality. I'm your trusted realtor. I'm making moves and making dreams come true.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. Our mission, to improve lives with every interaction. This is JW, General Manager at Parks Ford Hendersonville. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com. That's parksfordhendersonville.com.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
The dry weather continuing now, but we do have some hope in the forecast for a little bit of rainfall. Upper 70s today, some clouds with sunshine, but I think sun winds becoming overcast tonight, mid-50s. Tomorrow, cloudy, breezy, 75. Some showers in as we look ahead towards Sunday, especially in the afternoon. Could be thunderstorms by Sunday night. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic from the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Wish you could save on home insurance? With Allstate, you could easily save and get quality protection. Yep, it's a win-win. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
At Tractor Supply, we know that a winning season out here takes practice, teamwork, and a can-do attitude. Thankfully, when it comes to teamwork, it's great to have a neighbor like Tractor Supply. No matter the season, our team members are here to help. Like you, they know that nothing beats the feeling of seeing all your hard work pay off. Whether you're caring for pets, chickens, or a few acres, we have everything you need to get the most out of life out here. Season after season, Tractor Supply. For life out here.
Hard work and dreams lead to success, but easily filing your taxes with TurboTax and Credit Karma doesn't hurt either. Make filing taxes a walk in the park, because we'll pre-fill your info for you so you can file quickly and confidently. Winner! Get the peace of mind that comes with expert help. Let's go! Being powered by TurboTax means you're backed by the leading tax preparer, and we'll show you all your filing options up front so there are no...
Okay.
File your taxes on Intuit Credit Karma today. Expert help not available with all products. Guarantee details available at turbotax.com/guarantees.
For over 40 years, American Electric has been family-owned and operated right here in WNC. With 3 generations and over 100 dedicated teammates, they are powered to serve our community. Homes and businesses can trust American Electric. Visit a-americanelectric.com.
From the Ingalls studio, WPEK Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, W225CJ Candler, the #1 preset in your car, and the new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good. The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Second base.
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingalls studio.
We are back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy is heard everywhere around the world on the iHeartRadio app, and we are seen everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click that live video link, subscribe to the channel so you can join us in the chat. I guess I do lie when I say it's heard everywhere around the world. I mean, you can't get us in China because, you know, it's China.
China.
They don't allow stuff. They don't allow people like Jeremy Greene to be heard in China.
Oh, don't worry. There are still, I guarantee you, there's still a dark alley somewhere that somebody's got a cell phone that they have access. I promise.
Ooh, there's so many jokes there, but we shall move on. We are back at the Sportsocracy. It is a Friday on the eve of the pie eating contest. Jeremy, you trained any?
No? Tank, I've been training for 37 years. Basically, since I learned how to eat solid foods. I've been training for this. I've also learned, you know what the best training for a pie eating contest, as I just eviscerate Richard Spencer IV. I've been eating almost nothing but leftover Taco Bell for the last 2 days. Oh yeah.
I guess that's a good way to cleanse yourself.
For sure.
Ooh, good.
This gut is prepared. There is nothing you can throw my way that has not been prepped for. We're good to go, bruh. The leftover Taco Bell quesadilla. Oh, so good. I don't know what sauce they put in that thing, but oh my Lord, it's so much better the next day. It's good hot. You reheat that bad boy in a microwave, make it like the temperature of the sun. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It'll get you where you're going.
Okay. All right.
I have one sitting on my desk right now that I'm going to eat the next break. We also have there's now a stipulation on our pie eating contest.
Mm-hmm.
It's from our buddy David L., who just sent a donation to the Sportsocracy's PayPal page for whoever wins the pie eating contest. It's a big old 50 bones for which every one of us win, which is a nice way of saying, thanks, David L. That'll buy several Carolina Blondes at the Bears Smokehouse Barbecue for the Moulet.
Tomorrow evening, the To Hell with Helene party at Bears Smokehouse Barbecue, the official barbecue of the Sportsocracy. We will be there. We will be competing in the pie eating contest. Don't know what time it starts, so you just have to show up at 5 and stay all night. We will be competing against Jamie the Bear McDonald, who's a former professional eater who still has quite a bit of skills.
Most likely the way this goes is how long are we doing this? Have you gotten confirmation on that? Because I have not.
No one has explained the rules. So I don't know if it's one of the if it's going to be like, hey, here's just 6 of them, do them as fast as you can, or if it's going to be you have 3 minutes to do as many as you can, or I have no idea.
Well, let's go with it. It's 3 minutes, because here's how this will go. Jamie the Bear McDonald will consume, I'll say, 115 of these. I'm going to do a solid 32. And Tank will tap out because his tum-tum hurts after about 12.
Okay. Supremely confident.
Look,
I'm not. I don't know how this is going to go. I haven't been in a eating contest in more than 20 years. So,
and you were in much better shape for an eating contest. Basically, every time I've ever known you than right now.
Yeah,
you eat like a bunny rabbit right now.
Yeah. I mean, I don't eat a whole lot in one sitting.
I do. You know what the training regiment for this mouth hole's been? Taco Bell quesadillas, double cheeseburgers, and a Little Caesars pizza. Oh, by the way, polished one of those bad boys off the other night too. I am primed and ready to go.
God.
My cholesterol also currently looks like a zip code. But
I was going to say, you turned 38 and you went one day with, God, I feel old. I should probably start taking better care of myself. Nope, not going to do that anymore.
Yeah, you took way too much into that. I said that. I didn't mean it. It's like after going on you have a really aggressive bachelor weekend or something, and you go, I'm never drinking again. Hey, hand me a beer.
Mm-hmm. I've already called up the cardiac tower. They're preparing your operating room. It'll be fine. You're due to have your stent anytime now.
I'm in pretty good shape. Hashtag built different.
Pretty good shape.
Hashtag built different.
You are a funny man, and that is probably the funniest thing I think I've ever heard you say.
I mean, I've had labs done recently. Like, I am the healthiest fat guy you will ever see in your life. And you know who told me that? My doctor.
I hope so.
He's a bit of a jackal, but he's a funny jackal.
All right, we've got a super chat to get to before we get to the A+ mock draft for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
And it's from Red Sea. He says, of course, it's an Arizona question. If Arizona passes on JPJ twice, he will spontaneously combust.
I don't think you have to worry about that.
So if JPJ were to fall to whatever 49, I think you said earlier, that's what that's in reference to.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about that because that's a media narrative that the scouts, we sit back and go, yeah. By the time he gets to 30, we're going to have scouts that are locking people in rooms and threatening to start executing hostages. We're taking James Spears if he's still on board.
Right. Do you remember shortly before the draft, what was that, 2 years ago, when the Philadelphia Eagles got Jalen Carter?
Yes.
And the story came out about the crash and the racing and all of that. Do you remember there were so many media heads who were, oh, I don't know that Jalen Carter's even going to get drafted in the first round now. Or if they did, they had him going real, real late.
It's because it's lying season. That's what people do. They lie to you.
And then the Eagles, traded up, right? They traded up to 10? Or did they trade
No, they
back?
traded up to 9. They were at 10.
They traded up to 9.
And they traded up a spot with the Bears. The Bears went down a spot and took Darnell Wright. And Philadelphia went up a spot and took Jalen Carter.
Right.
Which, by the way, hey, Chicago, wouldn't it be cool if you had Jalen Carter? Oh, yeah. I'm sure you really enjoyed that 4th-round pick you got for trading down a spot.
Did you a whole lot of good, didn't it?
I don't even remember who that pick was. I can find out, but I don't remember off the top of my head.
No. And we don't expect you to. It's fine. You don't have to tell us who the 4th-round pick was. Kansas City Chiefs, their offseason has not been great. Has there been a single move that they made that you went, yeah, that was solid?
Not really.
I don't have one of those. I don't have one of those. I mean, Christian Fulton, nope. Elijah Mitchell, nope.
I don't mind the Elijah Mitchell thing. That's fine.
Is it going to matter?
Oh, by the way, the pick that they got from the Eagles was Tyler Scott. That would and if that name's not ringing a bell with you, that's the receiver that's about 5'0" that runs super fast. The only problem is he doesn't catch so good. Oh, he's like a 4.3 40 guy. Mm-hmm. Yep, and that's awesome. He can run super fast. He can be super wide open down there. Problem is, got 10 thumbs. So that's the guy you needed to not take Jalen Carter. Awesome for you, Chicago.
So the Kansas City Chiefs, once again, were in a Super Bowl. Didn't get the win, but they were there.
Mm-hmm.
How can they stay there? How can they keep the atrophy from happening that we've been predicting?
Well, the fear that I have is I feel like you added Jalen Moore, and now you just think you're done on the offensive line, and you're not. If that's your plan, is you're going into next year with Jalen Moore, who in his life has played less than 800 snaps in the NFL. I don't think that you should not be done. If Josh Connerly Jr. falls in your lap at 31, you should take him and you should smile. I'm also not sure that you should be content with Kingsley Suamataia as your guard. To me, and this is just, I'm not claiming to be smarter than Andy Reid, I would put Suamataia on the right side. I would put him behind Jawan Taylor, and that's your spot. I'm going to stop moving you around. I'm going to commit to one spot because he always made way more sense to me as a tackle than he did as a guard. And a year from now, I'm going to let Jawan Taylor go and let Suamataia slide in on the right side. But that still means I need a guard. Mm-hmm. So if you took Gray Zabel at 31, I'm not going to be upset about it. Let's say Connerly and Simmons and all those guys are gone. You could, in theory, take Gray Zabel, and I would not be upset by that.
And you could play him either or?
I would play him at left guard, so I would have Zabel, Humphrey, Trey Smith, Jalen Moore on the left side. But I feel better. See, where I really run into a problem with Jalen Moore is, okay, so you're telling me I'm going to put this super inexperienced left tackle protecting Pat Mahomes' blind side, and I have a guard who is converting from tackle. And, oh, by the way, he was a terrible tackle last year. Mm-hmm. And that's what's on the inside of him? Mm-mm. I don't want to do any of that.
Or Mike Caliendo, don't forget. He was the starter at the end of the season.
Yeah, he shouldn't have been.
Super Bowl.
Yeah, he should be doing comedy with his last name brother, Frank. I'm sure, because he's probably better at that than he is playing guard.
Uh-huh.
You could also look to add at defensive tackle. I mean, look, Kansas City has more needs than just about any really good team that I've seen in a long time. Because I feel like they need to add on that offensive line. That's the A1, no doubt. Defensive tackle is right behind it. I really want another edge. I really need another pass catcher or two. I think they need a tight end at some point in this class because this class is too good for you to not come out of this with whoever's going to replace Travis Kelce. Oh, and by the way, you need a running back too. Because if you're thinking it's Isaiah Pacheco and this mishmash of crap that you've been throwing out there, the Super Bowl should have taught you. No, it's not.
But Elijah Mitchell. It was just another. It was just another random face.
I think I believe more in. I think I believe more in Elijah Mitchell than you do. But I always have. So. I liked him when he got drafted. I liked him in San Francisco. You just got to keep him healthy, and that's not as easy to do as people think.
No.
So if I was going through this scenario, and I'm using my top 300 to go through these picks. So Kansas City picks at 31, 63, 66, 95. Those are the four most important. I need to walk out of this with four starters. Mm-hmm. You have to get a defensive tackle in there somewhere. You have to get an offensive lineman in there somewhere. I think you need an edge and a running back in there somewhere. If you don't want to go running back and you want to pass that off to those last four picks, okay, running back's deep enough for you to do that. But for me, an A+ for the Chiefs would be whichever position falls in your lap. You have to kind of treat this like it's Philadelphia, even though they have way fewer needs than you do. There's going to be either an edge, an offensive lineman, or a defensive tackle that falls right in your lap at 31. Walter Nolan could end up being there. On the lower side, TJ Sanders could be there, who I really like, but he kind of is a hat on a hat with Chris Jones. Or you're going to get one of those offensive linemen. If Josh Simmons or Josh Connerly's there, I don't even think about it. Just immediate, take the card to the podium. Mm-hmm. Or what if a Marion Hampton were to fall right there at 31? Do I think that's going to happen? No. But I've also cautioned people, in the best running back draft I've ever seen, we're talking about one going in the top 10. We're talking about another one going in the top 20. That's kind of hard for me to wrap my brain around because Caleb Johnson's a really high-end running back prospect too. Then you get into the Scadaboos, the two Ohio State guys, DJ Giddens. There's a lot of dudes that are going to be productive runners in this league. I don't necessarily think that's the biggest need for Kansas City, but if Hampton's the one that falls in your lap, that probably means the other guys are gone.
So if you had to make a prediction, first round's going to be a lineman of some kind.
Yes, I would say the most lineman. Likely. Mm-hmm. I mean, and we're talking A+ here, so this is the best case scenario for you.
Yep.
The best case scenario is that some of these concerns I've heard about Walter Nolan do not get satiated, and Nolan falls in your lap. Because him and Chris Jones beside each other, that fixes a lot of your problems.
Crazy, yeah.
Then you get into that 63-66 back-to-back. I absolutely love the idea of taking one of that second tier of offensive linemen. Whether it's Jonas Savagnia, whether it's Ariante Urshary, one of those guys right there in the 66 turn, the 63-66 turn. And then I want to add a tight end. Mason Taylor, I don't believe will be there. Elijah Arroyo might. And if either one of them fell to you, you've got to do it. Because you got to have that seam stretcher, of which I think both of them can do that. Mason Taylor ran pretty well at his pro day, and Elijah Arroyo is just a freak of nature. You put him on the opposite side of Travis Kelce for a year, and that's going to be hard to deal with. Mm-hmm. Receivers so deep late that I can add a Dante Thornton, or I'm just trying to think of the ones that I really like for Kansas City. I really like Dante Thornton. I really like Torrey Horton. I like Jalen Royals. The problem is that you have a guy that's really entrenched in the slot in Rashee Rice. So I need a guy that can play on the outside. So Isaac Tesla, I'm trying just to look at the guys I like. Man, you get super slotty in about the 4th, 5th round. But if you can add one of those weapons, I think it will mitigate some of your issues on the offensive line, but you've got to do more than Jalen Moore. Like, if you're just going to trot this back out there again, then you really don't matter. Because you're going to come up against Buffalo's pass rush. I think, even though I don't love Bosa at this point, they're improved. Baltimore is going to add a pass rusher in the first 2 rounds of this draft. Cincinnati is going to be better at that because I think they're going to add one. I mean, if you're telling me you're just going Jalen Moore, Kingsley Suamataia, none of this really matters. Because now teams they've read the book. This is just exactly like when your team beat them in the Super Bowl. What did they do then? They went and got Joe Thuney and drafted Trey Smith and Creed Humphrey.
Yep.
You better be planning on doing something like that again.
Mm-hmm. Got to bulk up that offensive line because, as you said, the playbook is out. If I can just hammer you with athletes and pass rush, then that's the key to unlocking success against the Kansas City Chiefs. It's now happened twice in a Super Bowl where you just got your face mushed because the other defense was able to take advantage of holes on your offensive line.
We have a comment in the YouTube chat that I want to get to because it came from a Chiefs fan. It's from Chiefs Nation UK that said, Jeremy, you always say we draft well, but I think we draft pretty average. The hits are big hits. The rest are mediocre or bad. That's still good. Like, I mean, you look at what Kansas City's done, and I don't have their draft history pulled up in front of me. But they've got some hits in middle rounds. You know, Trey Smith was an absolute home run. Creed Humphrey was a home run. Rashee Rice was a home run. So, yeah, Kansas City's one of those weird teams that I actually think you draft better in 3, 4, and 5 than you do in 1 and 2. Because most of the picks they've made that just make me go, how in the world did you get there? Felix Anudike-Uzomah. I never understood that. I never understood Xavier Worthy. Because it's just not who he is. He's not a number 1 receiver. I can't take a non-number 1 receiver in the first round. But then you look down the line and you've got a Rashee Rice in the second round. You've got a Leo Chenal, who I really like, in the third. Isaiah Pacheco that took in the 7th. Creed Humphrey that you took at the end of 2. Trey Smith that was in the 6th round. L'Jarius Sneed in the 4th round. He's exactly right. The hits are really good. The thing is that most of Kansas City's hits don't come in the first round. That's where they're running into problems now, is they keep investing first-round picks on edge rushers and offensive linemen. Where is your problem? Edge rusher and tackle. So you had to go out and overpay Jawan Taylor, which I didn't make sense at the time. It still doesn't make sense to me to this day. And so you're kind of chasing your tail on certain positions. Kansas City does a poor job of drafting tackles, edge rushers, defensive tackles outside of Chris Jones. They do a really good job in the back half of the defense. They do a really good job on the interior of the offensive line. They hit on the one quarterback. You don't have to do that again. If you got to figure one out in 15 years, we'll be fine. But they do have holes in their – they have holes in what they do well. Now, here's the secret of that. Every team does. There's no team that drafts everything well. Philadelphia, we talk about how great they are. They don't do receivers particularly well. They hit on Devontae Smith. I don't give you credit for that. He had one of the best junior seasons I've ever seen among wide receivers. He was an elite route runner, and he fell in your lap. There are a lot of Jalen Ragers in that history. And Jalen Rager, who you took over Justin Jefferson. Corner was not a position that they drafted particularly well. They hit on 2 this last year. But there's a lot of Keely Ringos there, too, who are absolute dead-on-arrival kind of prospects. They're just not very good. Every team has a hole. The secret is knowing to really use your high-end capital. That's what Philadelphia does. Philadelphia drafts edge rushers, defensive tackles, offensive linemen. That's what they use high-end capital on because they virtually never miss. Kansas City tries to use their capital on positions that they don't evaluate well, and they've missed a lot.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. A-plus mock drafts will continue. We'll do 2 a day between now and the NFL draft coming up on April the 24th in Green Bay, Wisconsin. And we will be there on the Ingles Living the Dream Tour with our good friends at Ingles Supermarkets, Parks Ford of Hendersonville, providing the mobile studio, the transportation up to Titletown, and, of course, Clarissa sells WBNC.com. You're in the Sportsocracy, and we'll be right back.
We know that a winning season out here takes practice.
Clear.
Can-do attitude. Thankfully, when it comes to teamwork, it's great to have a neighbor like Tractor Supply. No matter the season, our team members are here to help. Like you, they know that nothing beats the feeling of seeing all your hard work pay off. Whether you're caring for pets, chickens, or a few acres, we have everything you need to get the most out of life out here. Season after season, Tractor Supply. For life, out here.
Join us this March 29th for an evening that blends exceptional music with heartfelt support for Catamount student athletes. Nashville songwriters in concert at WC Ramsey Center brought to you by Ingles Markets, featuring performances by incredible country music talents Joe Lasher, Caitlin Baker, Kelly Lovelace, and Dave Turnbull. These stars have shared the stage with legends like Tim McGraw, Carrie Underwood, Brad Paisley, and more. Reserve individual seats starting at just $200 with dinner and drinks included, or grab a general admission ticket for $65 and enjoy the show. Doors open at 5 p.m. Dinner provided by Ingles. The Chef's Kitchen is served at 6. Visit ColorwayCollective.com or call 828-227-2401 to get your discounted tickets at Ingles.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out collection letters, garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it even harder to get out of debt. Don't let tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in taxpayer assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Let them fight on your behalf, helping to put your tax problems to rest. Call the tax professionals at Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-783-8055. 800-783-8055. 800-783-8055.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Mountain Graphics and Showtime Sports have teamed up under a new local owner to serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Mountain Graphics and Showtime Sports can customize whatever you, your team, or your local group may need with high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving. Visit mtngraphicsavl.com or showtimesportsavl.com. That's mtngraphicsavl.com or showtimesportsavl.com for your local one-stop custom apparel shops.
Looking to buy or sell in Asheville? At Clarissa Sells WNC with eXp Realty, we're proud to be the #1 real estate team in Buncombe County. Give us a call, 828-774-6343. We're here for what matters most, you.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. I would like to introduce you to some of our very own Parks community heroes, like Eric, who hosted the football team to support their neighbors and begin the cleanup efforts, like Jeff and Chris, who led a fleet of Ford commercial vehicles throughout the night, delivering supplies with emergency services to all corners of the county and first responders. Nominate your community hero at parkscommunityheroes.com. That's parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
The Sportsocracy.
That is some good, clean family fun there, eh, Cot?
We are back at the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, and speaking of family fun, just wanted to remind everybody, tomorrow you can come watch Jeremy and I compete in the pie-eating contest at the To Hell with Helene party out at Bear Smokehouse Barbecue, 135 Cox Avenue on the South Slope. The party starts at 5 o'clock tomorrow. There's going to be all kinds of fun activities. I mean, not only are you going to have, you know, the arm curls, you know, with the beverages. Not only will you have that, you know, same opportunity with all of the balls, because it's hard to keep their balls out of your mouth. there's going to be axe throwing. There will be comedy with Kayla Clark. There will be music with Lyric. And there will be mechanical bull rides. And there'll be other activities as well, just to hang out with your fellow man and kind of try to wash away some of the angst, I would say, that we all still have inside of us from the Helene days, because it never really stops. As we were talking I guess that was 2 days ago on the program, since we missed yesterday's show, but we had the 6-month anniversary yesterday of the hurricane hitting, and it didn't seem like an occasion to really mark because we're all still in it. I mean, we've got hundreds of people in our community still living in hotels. I think 1,200 is about the last count that I heard. We still have people needing meals from organizations like World Central Kitchens, who was set up at Bear's Smokehouse Barbecue, feeding people right after the storm. We've got a lot still going on. So tomorrow evening is going to be fun. And it is a family-friendly event. For some reason, my mother was under the impression that my kids couldn't go. And I was like, no. They were asked specifically to come by Megan and Cheryl and the rest of the crew down at Bear's Smokehouse Barbecue. So families are absolutely welcome. It's going to be a fun time. Come on down to 135 Cox Avenue tomorrow, 5 o'clock. It all starts off the To Hell with Helene party at Bear's Smokehouse Barbecue, the official barbecue of the Sportsocracy. Someone mentioned in the YouTube comments, Jeremy, saying that we hadn't got the notice that this is a 45-minute contest. It's a marathon, not a sprint. If that's the case, I'm out.
It works for me.
I'll do it for like 3 minutes.
Only things I'm scared of in this life are birds and squirrels, and I don't see any fur or feathers, so let's go.
Fair enough. We'll take a quick break here in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. When we come back, it'll be time to get into the safety rankings, the top 13 safeties of the 2025 NFL Draft class from NFLDraft.net.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast. ESPN Asheville.
Clear.
Continuing now, but we do have some hope in the forecast for a little bit of rainfall. Upper 70s today, some clouds with sunshine, but I think sun winds becoming overcast tonight, mid-50s. Tomorrow, cloudy, breezy, 75. Some showers in as we look ahead towards Sunday, especially in the afternoon. Could be thunderstorms by Sunday night. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic from the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Jimmy's Automotive Center.
Well, here at Jimmy's Automotive Center, we believe in customer service first. I feel if you take care of your customers, they will keep returning. That's our main goal. We're fair with them and we're a good value. Jimmy's Automotive Center, where customers send their friends.
Ever wake up feeling lousy, knowing something is off with your body? You don't have time for guesswork. You need Viome. Forget all the generic health fads. Viome doesn't tell you what you want to hear. It tells you what's actually going on inside your body. By analyzing your gut microbiome, Viome delivers a custom health plan that's as unique as your DNA. It's science, not nonsense. Want energy? Want better digestion? Viome has your back. Stop trusting amateurs. Go to Viome.com for a personalized gut professional now. Call StarStar Guts to get $50 off a full body intelligence test. That's StarStar 488 to receive a link to the offer.
Tackle your spring cleaning list with Zero Res Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning Spring Sale. Mention ESPN Asheville and get 3 rooms for $129 plus a free hallway. Book online at ZeroResAsheville.com.
Listen up, fellow Gen Xers. Elizabeth Banks here. The recommended age for pneumococcal pneumonia vaccination has been lowered to 50 and older, even if you're healthy. It's up to us to lead the way. We've done this before. Music videos, fanny packs, even the World Wide Web. Let's do it again and get vaccinated, because we're at over 6 times greater risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Gen X, this is our shot. Visit VaxAssist.com and schedule a vaccine today. Sponsored by Pfizer.
In the Sportsocracy, we like to make jokes, and we make jokes about doing ball things. Well, nobody does balls quite like Bear's Smokehouse Barbecue. Bear balls, mac and cheese, pulled pork, and cornbread, fried and topped with a cheese sauce and bacon. I can see why they like to talk about their balls so much. And if you like ball things, it's also a great spot to catch the next game. Bear Smokehouse, the official barbecue of the Sportsocracy. Grab you some balls today and join us for the grand reopening March 29th.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville, introducing you to this month's Parks Community Heroes, Corey and Kristen Short and the entire team at Silverados, who converted their music venue in Black Mountain into a donation and distribution zone in the wake of Hurricane Helene. Corey and his team founded Valley Strong Disaster Relief, dedicated to providing essential support to our neighbors in need. Nominate your Parks Community Hero at parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
Looking to buy or sell in Western North Carolina? At Clarissa Sells WNC, we're proud to be the #1 real estate team in Buncombe County, selling over 100 homes in 2024. We represent both buyers and sellers, and with a personalized approach to meet your needs.
At Clarissa Sells WNC, real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. Call me today, Clarissa Marshall, at 828-774-6343. When it comes to real estate, we're here for what matters most, you.
The Sportsocracy.
The ceiling is the roof. Let's make it happen. Let's keep moving forward.
It is ESPN Asheville, the Sportsocracy. Are you okay? You good, Jeremy?
I'm good. Yeah, I was eating a piece of quesadilla and about died.
I told you the Taco Bell's going to kill you, man. Gotta cut back.
It had a little too much Diablo on it. Might have gotten a little aggressive with the Diablo.
Oh, you're back in the Sportsocracy.
That was a divine Diablo, if you will. And now I have tears going out of my eyes. Like, this is not a good look.
NFLDraft.net is your one-stop shop for all the latest rankings and mock drafting things by at ESPN Draft Nerd Jeremy Greene. We've been doing position-by-position breakdowns, and let's get into the safety class. It's not the greatest of safety classes.
That's a really nice way to say there are three, and then it's a turd sandwich.
I was gonna say you got high-end talent at the top.
Yes, and for me, the number one is and will always be Malachi Starks.
Yes,
I don't know if it's just fatigue. Like we've seen him for so long that now it feels like people are looking for reasons to attack him. Malachi Starks is an elite safety prospect, and he can play out of the slot. He plays that Brian Branch role really well. The knock on him is that he's not crazy athletic. He's not super straight line fast. There are a lot of safeties that were not super straight line fast. He's got really good instincts. I mean, you're a Georgia guy, so you feel free to defend your guy at any point here.
I feel like the tape speaks for itself, and if you don't see it, then I kind of feel like you do sometimes, Jeremy. I can't really explain it to you if you don't see it. I know that Malachi had taken his lumps in the past because of how bad that secondary was at times. But he can't do it all. That was always my defense of, hey, okay, so the other guys on this team, they may suck, okay? But you leave Malachi Starks' name out of your mouth.
The knock on him is that he plays a little out of control at times. He missed some tackles, and when you see a guy miss a few tackles that's a little undersized anyway, that just opens up the floodgates for, well, at the next level, he's not going to, because he weighed in at 197 pounds, which is roughly where we thought he was. He was listed at 200 at Georgia, so it's not like it shocked me.
Right.
He's a really good player. He's the best safety in this class, and I don't think it's all that close. Mm-hmm. Now, a lot of other people seem to have fallen in love with the high weight speed monster from South Carolina. He's my 2. But I think we need to hit the brakes on this just a bit.
On Nick Imanwari?
Nick's a good player. He's a physical freak of nature. There are things that are disconcerting about him to me.
Okay.
So he runs this just freak combine where, he runs the 4.38. He shows up at 6'3", 220. He all of the drills, basically. He 43-inch vertical, which is insanity. I got all of that. He's a freak athlete. Is he a freak football player? Because that tape does not scream that to me. He is stiff at times as a 2x4. And then I watch, okay, so if you're this big, you're this fast, you're this physical, why are you not better against the run? Like, he's an elite coverage guy. Elite coverage guy. And I think he can play in virtually any kind of alignment that you ask him to do. He doesn't tackle as well as I want him to. Tries to tackle with his arms way too often. The angles leave a lot to be desired. And there are times that the read is just awful. But he's so fast that he catches up. I don't know that you're going to be able to do that in the NFL. I think he needs to play more as a true box safety that has high-end coverage grades. But I don't really want him like as a single high safety. I don't think that's where his future is. His instincts aren't good enough. But then I put him in the box, and he's not as good of a tackler as I want him to be. Malachi Starks, who he outweighs by 25 pounds and is 3 full inches taller than, is a considerably better tackler. That doesn't make any sense. This is one of those times that I think we're falling for the height, weight, speed. I have Imanori comfortably in the second round. I don't think he's a first-round pick. I also don't really see any way that he's not going to go in the top 25, and he might go ahead of Starks, which to me is insane. You watch them on tape, and you tell me you're taking one over the other, and I'm going to start searching your pocket for pipes.
All right, Nick Imanware from South Carolina at 2. Who's number 3?
Xavier Watts.
Mm-hmm. From Notre Dame.
Yeah, he's a kid that you're not going to jump up and down when you make this pick, but you should. Because he's an absolute ball hawk. It always seems like the ball ends up somewhere around him. He forced, I think it was 15.6 was the forced incompletion rate as a safety. Wow. That is ridiculous. The problem with him is that I don't know that he's going to get a whole lot better. I mean, he is 23 years old right now. He will turn 24 in the season next year, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm just not sure that there's like a super, super high side. He's also one of the safest players in this class. If you don't have him in the top 50, I really need you to explain to me why. It seems like every fan base really wants their team to draft him too. I get his name asked a lot of, hey, why did you bypass him in our 4-round mock draft? Well, because I don't think safety's your biggest need. And he's a very safe, very talented player that I would kind of like to see go to one of these better teams. Mm-hmm. Like, I love the idea of him in Buffalo. I would love him in San Francisco if San Francisco didn't have so many needs, because I think he would do what they ask you to do very well. I keep seeing him. Yeah, he falls to about 42. I've seen him with the Dallas Cowboys about 100 times. And that's fine. It's just, it doesn't send me. He can be a nice piece on a team that is 2 or 3 pieces away. And he's ready to play right now, which that'll be the last time you hear me say that in this segment.
But if he's one of the safest players in the draft, then would that not lend or would that not give a team that maybe didn't really need that position more incentive to get him, to know that they have that guy now?
That's the Cincinnati Bengal logic, because there are a lot of Bengal fans that really want them to take him in round 2.
Uh-huh.
And I get that. For me, if you're 2 years away, all right, so I'll just give you an example with my team. I'm a Jets fan. If the Jets take him in the second round, I think you've missed an opportunity here, because you're going to get his best years right now. You know, as I said, he'll be 24 in the season next year. He's already playing at a high level. He will still be playing at a high level 2 years from now, but it's really appealing that I don't have to bring him along. It's also kind of a ding on him that I don't think there's anywhere for him to go. He's pegged. Like, this is the player you're getting is the player you're getting. So I would like to see him in a place that he can just slot in as a starter with one of these better teams that needs him to play right now.
All right, fourth best prospect at the safety position for the 2025 NFL Draft. Who is it?
This is where we get into every one of these guys has a belly button, and none of them are particularly cute.
Okay.
Kelvin Winston Jr. If he had come out a year ago, he would be up there with Xavier Watts and the guys that I've already said. The problem is that he didn't, and he got hurt in week 1 this year against West Virginia. The best thing he does is how outrageously athletic he is. I don't know what he looks like now because he tore up the knee, and now I'm worried. Because if he doesn't have that freak athleticism, if he even lost half a step, I'm scared. Because that's where he was at. Is that the tape showed at times he did not always have the best reaction time. So like I said about Eamon Worry, he didn't trust his eyes at all times. And so he would react, but he would react a little slow. He was just so freakishly athletic that he could make up for the lost step or the hesitation or anything like that. If he's slowed down by this, the medical's huge on him. Because if the medical comes back completely clear and everything should be hunky-dunky by August, he should go at the back end of the second round, beginning of the third. If the medical gives you any pause for concern, I'm not saying I would take him off my board, but he would fall into that 4 or 5 range. Because he becomes way more of a project if he's not the freak that I saw before.
All right, at number 5.
Billy Bowman Jr. from Oklahoma. The tape on him is not as good as what I saw at the Senior Bowl. The Senior Bowl, he was just always around the ball. You can't miss 23.1% of your tackles. And he did at Oklahoma. Mm-hmm. He's not a big guy. But, man, when I watched him play in hat on a hat at the Senior Bowl, he looked like the best player on the field. Bill Workman fell in love with him. He couldn't stop talking about him. And then I started watching him. I realized how fast he was and how instinctive he was. But I couldn't get away from, man, you are little. Like little itty bitty. And, then he comes to the combine and he comes in at 5'09", so he's not even a full 5'10", and he's 192 pounds. He's got short arms, teeny, 28.5-inch arms, and an 8.5-inch hand. That's a lot of physical limitations. Now, if you put his brain in Nick Eamon-Worry's body, they would be Ronnie Lott. The problem is that's not legal, and so I don't think we're going to be doing that.
No, unfortunately, they cannot combine forces.
Now, what's funny is I would love the idea of them playing together. 2 years from now, I would absolutely love the idea of them playing together. But I don't see that happening.
Yep. All right, and at number 6.
Andrew Makuba out of Texas. He's another one that I kind of feel like I've seen what you're going to be. He is an elite coverage safety. He was the 4th highest graded safety in the country. Oh, and by the way, the best stretch of games that he had was in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. Right down the stretch for Texas and into the playoff. Now, that Ohio State tape, don't watch that. If you want to love him, do not watch that, because there were a couple of those big heavy hitter home run OSU plays. They were right at him. He's not good against the run. He's very undersized. And he's not a great tackler. I think he's a good tackler for his size. The problem is he's never going to be a great one. So he's always going to live in about that 15% missed tackle rate. And it's kind of hard to deal with that, especially with the way he plays. Because he does try to get out in front of run plays, because he knows what he is. In obvious run downs, he tries to beat the running back to the hole. He's not letting the action come to him. He's going to press forward against the run. The problem is that when he does that, sometimes it gets him out of position, and then there's nothing back behind him. So if you're planning on just dropping him, and that's what he does, you have one of these bulldog Brian Branch type slot corners, okay, I'm all in. If you're planning on playing Andrew Makuba in the slot, I'm all out. I do not want him doing that. I want him as a true deep safety that's just going to use his eyes and his instincts. Because I think he can be, I'm not going to say elite, but I think he can be a really good ball hawk in the back of a good defense.
Yeah.
Like he's the guy I keep looking at with the Jets going, if you put him on the same side as Sauce Gardner, this kid's going to get some opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
And I would really like that.
Number 7 in the safety rankings for the upcoming draft.
Okay, so if you go from Andrew Makuba to my 7, there is a full round between the grades.
Okay.
We go a whole round where I do not have one prospect until we get to, and this one's odd for me. It's Caleb Ransaw out of Tulane. Okay. One of the things that caught me the most off guard was that he ran with the corners at the combine. Because I do not know a soul that has him as a corner. Not one. He started as a corner, and then he moved into that really more of a slot corner role, but he still played some in the box. He hasn't played natural corner in 2 full years. These guys have a say in that. So I'm almost scared that he thinks he's a corner. Let me, and before we go any further, you're not. I'll be your agent here. Stop even suggesting that because you're not. He will play best using the physical the physical tools. I've told you this before. I love a slot that can come up and defend the run. He can do that. So if you want that hybrid player, Caleb Ransaw can be that. The thing I don't understand is that he went to the combine. I didn't see him with the safety, so I didn't think he even showed up. Then he trots out with the corners, and I'm like, well, that's odd. And he runs a 4.49. You don't look like a 4.49 player to me. You play way slower than you test. And those numbers always give me the angina. If you're that fast, why do you look slow so often? And he did. I'm trying to see what round I have him in. He is solidly in the 4th round for me.
4th round. All right, at number 8.
Lathan Ransom from Ohio State. If you want just a tough kid, like a kid that will absolutely knock your brains out against the run, it's your guy. Because he is an evil box safety. The problem is that I'm not 100% sure that he could cover me. Because he is so heavy-footed. He is and I'm trying to even think of a really good example. He is that kid that you bring down in the box and go, you want to run? Hey, because he's going to hurt your feelings if you do. But he doesn't have like high-end traits. He's not super fast. I think he has good size. He's just not crazy big. He's not like Kyle Hamilton big. He just works hard. And it's not that I don't like the high motor guy. It's hard for me to get behind high motor safeties. Because I'm always going to be looking at that going, I have to baby you. You know, the people that denigrated Kyle Hamilton, that's what they were afraid of. The thing is, Kyle Hamilton had instincts that were so unbelievably good, and he played faster than he tested. So the fact he ran a slow 40, I don't care. Lathan Ransom plays slow. He plays hard, but he's not a height, weight, speed guy.
Right.
And he misses a lot of tackles for a guy that's as good of a tackler as he is.
Yeah. Number 9.
9 for me is Sebastian Castro, who he's another one of those like Xavier Restrepo. I think if he started the 40 when this segment started, I believe he would almost be done by now. Yeah, he ran a 4.61 at the combine. And I'm not going to lie, at his size, that's hard for me to wrap my brain around. He was good at the Senior Bowl. But kid's almost 25 years old. His best tape was in 23, not 24, and he didn't look like the same guy last year. So he's this high because this class is that bad.
Mm-hmm. All right, working down to the 5th round.
Yeah, I told you when we get to this point, we can get through this pretty quick.
Right.
Because I don't really need a whole lot of time to explain any of these guys.
Good. You don't have much.
Good. Ryan Lane from Navy. He's a high-end special teamer to start. A really high IQ. I don't know that physical limited because he is slow. I'm not sure that will ever allow him to be a true deep safety. So I think he's going to have some limitations, but will be a high-end special teamer in the league. Jonas Sanker out of Virginia is I believe this is 11. Is this 11?
Yes, it is 11.
Okay.
Yes.
There are a lot of people that like him way better than I do, and I'm not 100% sure what it is you're seeing. He's fine. I mean, I'm not going to yell at you for drafting him or anything like that. I just don't think there's a lot to him. The tape didn't jump off to me. He's he's going to come in as a special teams guy. Maybe there's something there. Maybe there's not. The talent around him, okay, you're trying to give him a blip for that. Then why did he not show on tape? If he's so good, why did he not show out in a defense that's this bad? And it was never there for me. Mm-hmm. And then my final two are Dante Trader Jr. from Maryland, who I hear a lot of guys that have a lot more faith in him than I do. He's really small. And there's just not much there. And then 13 there's an asterisk. On talent alone, you should be 4. The problem is, I think you are the biggest train wreck in this draft between the ears. It's Malachi Moore.
Okay.
Malachi Moore is, this is not my line. It was said to me when one of the teams in the NFL did their background on Malachi Moore. The phrase that I was told is if my daughter brought him to my house, he would not make it out alive. Not a good dude.
That's a warning. Yeah, that's a warning sign.
Yeah, if you remember, I said this about an Alabama player last year. It was Jermaine Burton, and he got arrested in the season.
Right.
Malachi Moore is not a good dude. Now, if you think you can give him a handler, he is in a bad safety class. He is a talented safety. He is one of those. I mean, it's like Vontaze Burfict level of I am scared to death of what he's doing in his off hours.
Yep.
He came to the Senior Bowl. They don't do this. If you can't play, you don't show up because they tell guys, you will have plenty of time to interview. We are here for guys that are going to be on the field. He showed up on his own dime to talk to NFL teams and got down on the field, which I've never seen in all the years I've covered the Senior Bowl. And teams still walked away and went, you did all of that, and you were still a train wreck when you were here. Like you would think your agent would have coached you on everything you should say. It actually dissuaded teams more than it persuaded them.
All right, Malachi Moore, the final of the top 13 safeties in the 2025 NFL Draft class. Again, for the latest rankings and mock drafts, go to NFLDraft.net. We'll do running backs when we return for the break here on ESPN.
Don't miss Neon Trees live March 31st. See you at.
Okay.
Whether you're tinkering in your
yep
or tackling big projects, if you know the value of working with your hands, you know Harbor Freight. And you can be confident knowing that at Harbor Freight, you can get quality tools at prices that work just as hard as you do. Because the only thing more satisfying than a job well done is a job well done, well under budget. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
New treatments for joint pain are here. By now you've heard about regenerative medicine. If you're wondering if you're a good candidate, answer these questions. First, Does chronic pain in your knees, hips, shoulders, or other joints keep you from doing the things you enjoy? Golfing, jogging, time with the family. Does it hurt doing the things you need to do? Like getting out of bed, sleeping, working, and walking. And finally, do you want to avoid surgery and all of the pain, long recovery, and uncertainty that comes with it? If you answered yes to any of those, you need to call QC Kinetics now. Learn about exciting advancements in regenerative treatments that can give you long-lasting pain relief with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. Get your free consultation today. Call QC Kinetics. That's QC Kinetics. Here's the phone number.
Call now, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, to check you have your phone first, before the cab pulls away.
Hey, thanks, man. No, wait, my phone! Come back! It's my boarding pass, credit cards, phone numbers, my life! Come back!
Checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Bear's Smokehouse Barbecue in downtown Asheville is back. Join us on the 29th at Bears on the South Slope for a lighthearted rage-releasing benefit party appropriately named To Hell with Helene. We'll exercise some demons together. A little axe throwing, a pie eating contest, mechanical bull rides. There'll be live music and, of course, great barbecue. Proceeds from the party will support Linked for Life, a mental health initiative. Say To Hell with Helene with us at Bear's Smokehouse grand reopening downtown March 29th.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. I would like to introduce you to some of our very own Parks community heroes. Like Trent and Doug, whose first instinct was to fill their trucks with supplies and drive to the areas that were hardest hit in those first hours. Like Spencer, who helped build a bridge out of debris to rescue 7 families after the road was washed away. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. That's parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
The dry weather continuing now, but we do have some hope in the forecast for a little bit of rainfall. Upper 70s today, some clouds with sunshine, but I think sun winds becoming overcast tonight, mid-50s. Tomorrow, cloudy, breezy, 75. Some showers in as we look ahead towards Sunday, especially in the afternoon. Could be thunderstorms by Sunday night. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic from the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off, free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
At Tractor Supply, we know that a winning season out here takes practice, teamwork, and a can-do attitude. Thankfully, when it comes to teamwork, it's great to have a neighbor like Tractor Supply. No matter the season, our team members are here to help. Like you, they know that nothing beats the feeling of seeing all your hard work pay off. Whether you're caring for pets, chickens, or a few acres, we have everything you need to get the most out of life out here. Season after season, Tractor Supply. For life out here.
Taxes was not knowing your full financial picture. Now Taxes is getting and maximizing your refund all in one place. Credit Karma, where a TurboTax expert can do your taxes for you. They'll get you the most money back, guaranteed. Then you can do more with all that money, all in Credit Karma. Now this is Taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. Get started today.
All right, hit it.
Guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
It's the moment you dream of, the moment you work for. All culminate into this time. Your moment.
Oh, okay.
Every step of the way.
From the Ingalls Studio, WPEK Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, W225CJ Candler, the #1 preset in your car, and the new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good. Live from the Ingalls Studio.
I can't wait to play with myself every day.
The Sportsocracy.
Damn the devil to hell! Let the big dog see! Let him on the field!
Come get you some of this.
Fire them cannons! By golly, put more powder in those things.
He couldn't take any more disappointment.
Oh my God. The Jets killed him.
It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. We're heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app, except for China. And you can catch us everywhere on YouTube, except for China, on the YouTubes.
I'm pretty sure they find us there. Just in the last 2 weeks, I've gotten messages from Poland, Ireland. I got one from Greenland, which I thought was just covered in ice.
Nope.
Apparently not.
Nope, you better learn it. It's going to be part of our country soon.
For sure, 53rd state. Canada, Greenland, Gulf of America. Let's go.
And then we're on to Mexico and El Salvador and Panama. Ah!
Speaking of that, we have breaking news, Tank.
Oh, we do? Okay.
Who's going to break the news? Who's going to break the news? Who's going to break the news? Who's gonna break the news?
So yesterday I said that you were consumed with doing the Lord's work and protecting people from all the things that are happening in Western North Carolina right now.
I'm trying my best, yeah.
I took the day to solidify our plans for the 2025 NFL Draft. Obviously, the draft, you're going to get Tank and I. We already knew that. But we're going 4-man band to Green Bay. So you will get Tank as our lead host. I will be your analyst. And then teaming up on all things fantasy football will be Cowboy Zach Hurst, who was on our first draft call from the studios that we had over off Elk Park.
Mm-hmm.
And the resident Canadian, David Smith.
No way.
David Smith will be our fourth for the NFL draft.
Oh, I'm so happy. I am so happy.
I gotta give credit where credit is due here. David and I had talked about this at the combine. There's just no way, taking the time off work, all of the things. His wife was the one that pushed this. So Brianna was the one that really said, no, you've got to go. And I literally, when he texted me that, he sent me a screenshot of what she had said. And my response was, I love her. I've never even met her, and I love her. And Dave has always been our third. He will always be our third. And if David can make it to these events, he will always have a spot. So the Canadian will be joining us in Green Bay, along with Tank, myself, and Cowboy Zach Hurst.
Mm-hmm. Can't wait. It's going to be awesome. April 24th, Green Bay, Wisconsin, and all the cheeses will be consumed.
And there is a possibility, this one is not confirmed, so I'm not going to tell you who it is yet. We may have a fifth.
Ooh. All right. Just adding. Are we adding drivers to the Parks Ford Mobile Studio?
Yes. In theory, the last person could indeed drive the Parks Ford Mobile Studio as well.
Okay. All right. We are continuing our coverage of the Draftmas season leading up to that. A-plus mock drafts will continue every day, every show until the draft. We'll be doing 2 a days. We did the Chiefs and the Eagles earlier in the program, so you can go back and check that out on the podcast or on the archive YouTube stream after the program today. We'll have 2 more on the way for you tomorrow, working our way up the draft board, right, starting at the bottom and then going to the top, as we do here in the Sportsocracy. The only thing that we do like Drake. Position by position rankings coming to us from at ESPN Draft Nerd and NFL Draft.net. Running backs became a premier position again in the NFL thanks to Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry, and we've had quite a few good ones come into the league over the last couple of years. Jahmyr Gibbs is one that really sticks out in my mind, and we've got a couple coming this year. You've said it's a really deep class, Jeremy. How high is the high side of the class, though?
The top 2 are 2 of the highest graded running backs I've ever had.
Mm-hmm.
They're not Saquon Barkley high, but they're like the notch below that.
So like the Leonard Fournette tier?
I didn't have Fournette as high as everybody else did.
Do you have Fournette lower than where you have these guys?
Yes. I think they're both better prospects than Leonard Fournette was.
All right. Number one.
I don't really have a number one. It's a 1A and a 1B. Because they're so different, it really depends on what you're after. If you forced me to pick one, I would go a Marion Hampton one.
Wow. Okay.
I think he's the best running back in this draft. If you're looking for a 3-down bell cow running back, I would take a Marion Hampton over Ashton Jeanty. Because Jeanty, what he does well, he does better than any running back other than Saquon Barkley that I've ever seen. I just don't think he does all of it the way that a Marion Hampton does. A Marion Hampton is elite in pass pro. I think he can be an elite pass catcher. Now, is he, does he, are there no flaws? Absolutely not. But I think if you take all of his flaws and had put him at Ohio State, all of a sudden all the flaws go away. Because the big knock I always hear on him is that sometimes he hesitates too much at the line. Sometimes he's not decisive. It's because he's trying to hit a home run on every play. You know why? Because he was looking back at his quarterback going, you're not good. I'm all we have. If we're going to gain yardage here, it's going to be on my back. And I think there's a merit to that. I think if you put it all in a vacuum and a Marion Hampton had been playing at Boise State, I think he would have put up numbers very similar to what Ashton Jeanty did. And I'm sorry, I can't unsee the Penn State game because in this scenario, my 2 is Ashton Jeanty. Mm-hmm. And I get it. You've been told that he is this elite. Okay. I want you, when I say something that's factually inaccurate, you tell me when I said something factually inaccurate. He's still 5'9".
Yep.
He's still a thick 5'9" because he weighs about 215 pounds. That's a weird body frame for a guy to come into the league and run the way he does. Fact or fiction?
Fact.
Do you know what he measured at the combine?
What did he measure?
5'08.5". He's an inch and a half taller than Darren Sproles.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard for me to believe that a guy is going to come into the league running the way he did and do the things he did. He is one of those that gets he's a willing blocker. Yeah, but he's not a good one. Okay? I'm a willing Spice Girl. It doesn't mean I would be good at it. And that's kind of where I'm at with him. You can run between the tackles about as well as anybody I've ever seen. In a zone scheme, good Lord have mercy, this kid could run for 1,500 yards a year. But can he do anything else? This is where I keep falling at 6 with the Raiders. It doesn't make any sense. He's not that much better than the guy I have at 3. And typically that's where you see running backs fall. He also fumbles a lot. I just don't really get it. I didn't get it in the offseason. I watched what he did, and I'm sorry, but I'm not overly impressed that you ran for 1 billion yards on Georgia Southern, Washington State, Utah State, Hawaii, San Diego State, Nevada, Wyoming. You know who stifled you? Penn State. Go back and watch that Penn State tape and tell me that's a top 10 pick, because I'm sorry, he's not. He's not. The entire defense was fixated on him, and he was borderline irrelevant.
Mm-hmm.
I like him a lot. I like him in very certain scenarios. I would love him with the Miami Dolphins. I would love him. Obviously, they don't need him. I would love him with the San Francisco 49ers. They also don't need him. Mm-hmm. You know who I don't love him with? The Raiders. You know who I don't love him with? The Dallas Cowboys. I don't love him with the teams that are almost invariably going to take him. And he's going to go so high that the expectations are going to be through the roof. You can count on one hand the number of running backs that have been drafted in the top 10 in the last 10 years. He's not better than any of them.
Yeah.
He's not better than Saquon Barkley. I'm sorry, he's not. He's not a better prospect than Ezekiel Elliott. I'm sorry, he's not. And I get it. He ran for a gajillion yards, and he was fun to watch, and he played on this cute blue turf that people think birds killed themselves on, but they didn't. He's a good, not great prospect. And I keep seeing people put him at, like PFF has him at 6 overall. I don't get it. I don't see it. Actually, they have him at 5. They moved him up in the last update. Right. I don't get it. I have him and Hampton both in the teens. Mm-hmm. They're both good running backs. I think Hampton is a more well-rounded, all-around running back, and I think that's where they should go. Unfortunately, I think both of them might go higher than that. And if you tell me I have to take Genty at 6 and I get a Marion Hampton at 31, not hard for me to figure out which one of those is going to have a higher hit rate.
Absolutely. It's no question. I feel like somebody is going to do it. I don't feel like this is a lie. Do you? I mean, Ashton Genty has top 10 prospects right now, according to the media.
To be drafted in the top 10?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's as much of that as people think. People keep putting him to the Raiders. The Raiders don't make sense. They keep putting him to the Bears. The Bears are in love with another running back, and it's the next name that's going to come out of my mouth. If they don't end up with my 3, it will not be because they didn't want him. Yep. Now, they may not have another player at 10. Genty might be the highest player on their board, and that's who they have to take because they did a good job of filling their needs. I don't believe that's going to happen.
I mean, it's easy to see what you fall in love with, when you watch him and the vision, the speed, the agility to be able to make the cuts inside traffic between the tackles to break free. It's all well and good, but I do have a major problem with the level of competition. A lot of your pinball action that he had, those runs where he would run into the ass of the tackle and then bounce it to the outside and then bounce off 3 linebackers and then, juke a safety. Again, most of that, except for 3 games, was done against pretty low-level competition.
Well, I mean, you just look at the grades. Look at who he played against. In 2023, Washington, worst game he had all year. Played another one against, I think that's North Dakota. I'm not positive. But he beats up on San Diego State and Colorado State and Wyoming and Utah State and Air Force. Go back to 2022. Same thing. Worst game he played, Oregon State. Second worst game he played, UTEP. Third worst game he played, Air Force. You know who he beat up on? New Mexico, who was terrible. San Diego State has not been good defensively in years. Colorado State, who's a terrible defensive team. Nevada and Wyoming. You just keep doing it, but then you put him up against realistic, honest-to-God competition. He's not that guy anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and I'm not talking about they were playing juggernauts. I'm talking about they were playing against Oregon State. And all of a sudden, he's good, but he's not some superstar. Mm-hmm. If he had played at Ohio State, I think a lot of his deficiencies would have been unveiled. And the fact that he's a little itty-bitty guy, I'm sorry, I don't love that. I want a running back built like Saquon Barkley. I'm asking you to go through 20 car wrecks a week. I don't know that you're going to hold up to that. And then I see him standing next to a Marion Hampton, and I go, well, one of you looks like an NFL running back, and the other one does not.
And the other one looks like his little brother.
Yes, who maybe 5 years from now when he hits a growth spurt, he'll be an NFL running back. But he ain't right now.
He's hell on wheels as a freshman in high school.
And look, if this is one of those times, if I'm wrong on Ashton Genty and he turns into a superstar, okay, I'll own it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he's a top 15 to 20 running back. I think he will be really good if he goes into the right situation. And I unfortunately don't think that situation is most of the places that he seems to be landing when we're doing mock drafts.
All right, number 1, Marion Hampton out of North Carolina. Number 2, Ashton Genty for at ESPN Draft Nerd, Jeremy Greene. We'll be back with number 3 after this right here on ESPN Asheville.
Lead to success, but easily filing your tax.
We're clear.
Tax and Credit Karma doesn't hurt either. Make filing taxes a walk in the park because we'll pre-fill your info for you so you can file quickly and confidently. Winner! Get the peace of mind that comes with expert help. Let's go! Being powered by TurboTax means you're backed by the leading tax preparer, and we'll show you all your filing options up front so there are no surprises. File your taxes on Intuit Credit Karma today. Expert help not available with all products. Guarantee details available at turbotax.com/guarantees.
Join us this March 29th for an evening that blends exceptional music with heartfelt support for Catamount student-athletes. Nashville songwriters in concert at WCU Ramsey Center brought to you by Ingalls Markets, featuring performances by incredible country music talents Joe Lasher, Caitlin Baker, Kelly Lovelace, and Dave Turnbull. These stars have shared the stage with legends like Tim McGraw, Carrie Underwood, Brad Paisley, and more. Reserve individual seats starting at just $200 with dinner and drinks included, or grab a general admission ticket for $65 and enjoy the show. Doors open at 5 p.m. Dinner provided by Ingalls. The Chef's Kitchen is served at 6. Visit ColorwayCollective.com or call 828-227-2401 to get your discounted tickets at Ingalls.
Whether you're tinkering in your garage or tackling big projects, if you know the value of working with your hands, you know Harbor Freight. And you can be confident knowing that at Harbor Freight, you can get quality tools at prices that work just as hard as you do. Because the only thing more satisfying than a job well done is a job well done, well under budget. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
I'm at the movies, asking people if they'll switch seats with me for $574.
Here, take mine.
So what about $574 if you switch your home insurance to Allstate?
Too much work.
Not if you call them. They handle the switching.
Now, that's a plot twist.
Shh. Check Allstate first, and you could save hundreds on quality home insurance today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings vary.
In the Sportsocracy, we like to make jokes, and we make jokes about doing ball things. Well, nobody does balls quite like Bear Smokehouse Barbecue. Bear balls, mac and cheese, pulled pork, and cornbread, fried and topped with a cheese sauce and bacon. I can see why they like to talk about their balls so much. And if you like ball things, it's also a great spot to catch the next game. Bear Smokehouse, the official barbecue of the Sportsocracy. Grab you some balls today and join us for the grand reopening March 29th.
It's the moment you dream of, the moment you work for, train for, run wind sprints when nobody's watching for, the moment when hours of gym time, court time, prep time, all culminate into this time. The moment when millions of bounces, blocks, and boards all add up to this, your moment. Ingalls, we're with you every step of the way.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford, Hendersonville. I would like to introduce you to some of our very own Parks Community Heroes, like Jeff and Chris, who led a fleet of Ford commercial vehicles throughout the night, delivering supplies with emergency services to all corners of the county and first responders. Like Daniel, a veteran who accompanied law enforcement and other veterans to perform search and rescue operations. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. That's parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
The Sportsocracy.
You are just dumber than a bag of hammers.
Oh, man. Can you smell it?
What the Rock's cooking?
The weekend's almost here.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, look, Tank, for me, the weekend doesn't really mean much because, I mean, yeah, it's the weekend, but I'm still spot welded to this chair talking about the draft. I'm doing like 7 podcasts in the morning.
Are you?
And the guy that cleans our house is coming tonight, so I have to get out of the way, which means I'm going to a bar, and it's not going to be good. I know where this is going. I've read this book before. It's not awesome.
You read this book last night, did you?
Well, I didn't have to get out of the house last night. I chose to. This is one of those, like, I'll let you know when you can come back. Oh, God, that's not going to be good.
Yeah, it's the What Happens When You're Out is the book that you've read.
Yes. It's not good.
No, not good. Not good at all. You need to save some up. We got a big day tomorrow.
Oh, don't worry. Don't worry. Okay. You need me to be a little worse for the wear, so I don't embarrass you eating these pies.
We're talking running backs in the 2025 NFL Draft. It will be a 4-man team from the Sportsocracy up in Green Bay, Wisconsin this year for the draft, as we'll have Cowboy Zach Hurst and Armchair Commentaries, David Smith, coming back from Canada. It'll be the Canadan Does America Part 2.
Oh, so you're saying it's coming to America Part 2? Awesome.
Yes. Thank you. And then, of course, Jeremy and myself hanging out in Green Bay, Wisconsin, getting ready to see how all the NFL teams are either going to, nail the draft or, like many teams do, just completely punt it and screw it up. We're talking running backs of the top 2 in the class. Surprisingly enough, at ESPN Draft Nerd's number 1 in the class is not everybody else's number 1, Ashton Gianti. No, it's Omarion Hampton from the University of North Carolina. Ashton is number 2. And then you say there's a little bit of a drop-off?
Not really.
Not much?
Not much.
To number 3.
Caleb Johnson out of Iowa. I love this kid. I mean, I love him because he's so smooth. I hate comps, and you know that. Mm-hmm. Every once in a while, I see a comp and go, oh, that's good. The one to Caleb Johnson from PFF was Todd Gurley, and yep, I see that. I get it, because Todd Gurley was not a great blocker either. Caleb Johnson can do that. He's not great at it, but man, when you get the ball in his hands, he is really hard to bring down. Oh, and OBT Dubs, he's actually built like an NFL running back because Caleb Johnson is 6'1", 225. So he is built to last, and he has no medical red flags whatsoever. He's freakishly athletic. His game athleticism score in 2024 was a 97.9.
Not shocking to me.
That is insanity.
Mm-hmm. I have seen several runs from Caleb Johnson where it appears that his top half and his bottom half are independent of each other. And I don't mean that in a bad way. Like usually, Jeremy, when you say that about a player, it's a bad thing, right?
With offensive linemen, yes.
Feet and the head aren't doing what they're supposed to do in tandem. When I say that about Caleb Johnson, what I mean is sometimes he'll go into a pile and it seems like he will disconnect the bottom part of his body and turn it just so nobody can grab him. And then he'll just pop it back on and then boom, he's out of the pile. Somehow, some way, he has squeezed through that thing, which is weird because he's not a small guy to squeeze through holes.
Nope. And he can play in any he can play in any alignment. He can play in any offense. The knock that I hear on him is, he's not a great pass blocker. Okay, there's a lot of running backs that are not great pass blockers. Fine. He's not a polished receiver. You're right. He also was not asked to do it very often. And if you look at yards per route run, he was 52nd in the country, which that doesn't sound great until you realize that there were about 600 running backs that were evaluated. So, I mean, I think there's good receiver there. I mean, look, he was targeted, 25 times? He had 22 receptions. I don't think that's the negative everybody else is making it. Iowa has never had running backs that are really good as pass catchers coming out.
It's not part of their game plan either.
Which is weird because you would think it would be because they often have good running backs and very few receivers. But I'm not in Kirk Ferentz' brain. So
I was going to say they don't have quarterbacks either.
That's also a good point.
I don't have somebody that can throw the ball. We're just going to 3 yards in a cloud of dust this thing. And when you get a guy like Caleb Johnson who can come in and, sometimes 20 yards in a cloud of dust this thing, it works. Number 4.
Quinshon Judkins. I like him better than the other Ohio State running back. He's not crazy elusive. He is more the bowling ball at 219 pounds. I don't necessarily think there's a lot. I don't think there's a lot of nuance to his game, but he's going to do what I want him to do. He has really good feet. He's a really good pass blocker. He's never been much of a pass catcher, which is kind of shocking to me. But he has good long speed. He can be a home run hitter, and he never puts the ball on the ground. Ever. In 3 years in college, I think he had 2 fumbles.
That's a pretty good track record.
Oh, and by the way, he was one of the best running backs in the country in the SEC and the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
So really, no matter which way you look at this, he's given you enough. I don't know that I don't know that you were talking about a drop-off. The drop-off for me happens after Caleb Johnson to here. Because there is a drop-off. I just don't. I think he needs to be refined as a prospect because most of the things I could ding him on are nitpicky. His balance is not awesome. Sometimes he does things that are the technique lacks in certain regards. I can refine all of that. He's a big kid, he's a thick kid, and he's a home run hitter. And I'm good. If I can get him in the back end of the second round, I'm in.
And I love the fact that he is strong enough to break a tackle at the second level, especially.
Yes.
He comes up to the line, and you've got that safety, coming down to in run support, and you don't have like some of the safeties that we talked about in the last hour that don't really tackle all that well. They're not going to bring him down because he's strong enough, and he does have the balance enough to kind of lower himself and just shove it off and bounce off and make a big play. I mean, he's not going to be able to do that to all of the safeties in the NFL, but he can do it enough to make a good living.
For sure.
I got no doubts about that. All right, you're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. We will finish out the running backs list when we return here on 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. You can join the Sportsocracy tomorrow at Bears Smokehouse Barbecue in downtown Asheville, 135 Cox Avenue on the South Slope. Tomorrow is the big To Hell with Helene party. It's the grand reopening of Bears Smokehouse Barbecue. They're getting all their space back after helping out our community, hosting World Central Kitchens through the aftermath of Hurricane Helene. And they are throwing a lighthearted, rage-releasing event that you can come throw axes if you're into the whole gluttony thing, which obviously Jeremy and I are. They're having the pie eating contest, which we'll be competing in against Jamie the Bear McDonald, which former professional eater. Still don't feel that's going to go well for us, but the contest is really between me and Jeremy. We got some cash on the line now, thanks to a wonderful donation to the Sportsocracy. Tomorrow at 5 o'clock is when it all gets going. There will be comedy with Kayla Clark. She'll be kind of MC, hosting of the festivities, and Lyric's going to hit the stage tomorrow evening, and it's going to be a funky night down on Cox Avenue. So you want to come down and join us, and of course, grab all the balls. They got the bear balls, the moink balls, all the best meat in town. We will see you there. 135 Cox Avenue, Bears Smokehouse Barbecue, the official barbecue of the Sportsocracy.
This is your extra
all right, we're clear.
Weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
The dry weather continuing now, but we do have some hope in the forecast for a little bit of rainfall. Upper 70s today, some clouds with sunshine, but I think sun winds becoming overcast tonight, mid-50s. Tomorrow, cloudy, breezy, 75. Some showers in as we look ahead towards Sunday, especially in the afternoon. Could be thunderstorms by Sunday night. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic from the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off, free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
Tackle your spring cleaning list with Zero Res Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning Spring Sale. Mention ESPN Asheville and get 3 rooms for $129 plus a free hallway. Book online at ZeroResAsheville.com.
The Fender family on their mother's experience at Sandstone Health and Rehabilitation.
She enjoyed it so much with all the people, all the activities.
Oh, she got along with the staff great, and they took good care of her too.
It made me go home and sleep at night. I didn't have to worry about her because I knew she was being taken care of.
And she loved going out in the courtyard. We always had picnics with her.
Mama was so happy.
Discover the Sandstone difference at SANStoneHealth.com.
Whether you're tinkering in your garage or tackling big projects, if you know the value of working with your hands, you know Harbor Freight. And you can be confident knowing that at Harbor Freight, you can get quality tools at prices that work just as hard as you do. Because the only thing more satisfying than a job well done is a job well done, well under budget. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Tractor Supply knows that a winning season takes practice, teamwork, and a can-do attitude. Thankfully, when you have a neighbor like Tractor Supply, teamwork comes easy. Whether you're caring for pets, chickens, or a few acres, our team members will help you succeed. Season after season. Tractor Supply. For life out here.
Buying or selling a home doesn't have to be stressful. Let me, Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, your local real estate expert, guide you every step of the way. Whether you're searching for your dream home, looking to sell quickly, or exploring investment opportunities, I've got the experience and the tools to get you the best deal possible. Call me, Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty at 828-774-6343. Let's make your real estate dreams a reality. I'm your trusted realtor. I'm making moves and making dreams come true.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. Our mission, to improve lives with every interaction. This is JW, General Manager at Parks Ford Hendersonville. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com. That's parksfordhendersonville.com.
ESPN Asheville, broadcasting from the Ingles studio at Radio Ranch. Log on to ESPNAVL.com and make us your #1 preset on the iHeartRadio app. ESPN Asheville, #1 for sports coverage in the mountains. The Sportsocracy.
These guys are a f***ing disgrace.
We are back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. Find us on all the social medias at The Sportsocracy. Also at thesportsocracy.com, where you can click on the live video link, subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can join us in the chat. We are working our way through the 2025 NFL Draft's top running backs prospects by at ESPN Draft Nerd, Jeremy Greene. You can find all of that at NFLDraft.net, his latest rankings and mock drafts. Now, Jeremy, we are to the 5th best running back prospect in this class.
It's Travion Henderson. It's the other running back from Ohio State.
Yeah.
He's the agile one. He didn't run as fast as I expected him to. He's also not really thick. I have a fear that Travion Henderson dances way too much. And if he's not in the right scenario, I love the idea of him winding up in Philadelphia behind Saquon Barkley. I also love the idea of him potentially ending up in Kansas City as the more outside runner to Isaiah Pacheco. I'm afraid that he's going to end up somewhere like Cleveland, where the line is not good enough for what it is you're going to try to do. And he becomes one of those running backs. I mean, we've seen a lot of these guys over the years that you were great in college because you got what was blocked for you. And you had the ability, when it was blocked for you, to hit home runs. I don't see a lot of him creating home runs. He really likes to bounce things outside, which is a big red flag for me with running backs.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying he's not good. I just don't think there's as much. I think a lot of big Travion Henderson runs were because they were blocked for him more than he did really anything to make them happen.
I can see that. Because he did have some gaping holes to get through. And you're right. He hits that gap between the center of the guard and immediately runs to the sideline.
Yep.
Immediately. Like, takes the beeline.
He runs away from contact, which is not something I want to see out of running backs. Because those guys just getting eaten up in the NFL. I'm not saying you don't have a role, but a lot of the role that I think he's going to have are things that I didn't really see him do much.
Mm-hmm. He's a pretty good pass catcher.
He is to a point.
Ooh, okay.
It's not a really so the fact you can catch screen passes and you can catch swing passes, that doesn't mean a hill of beans to me. Every running back can catch screen passes if they're thrown to him. There's no real. Let's get through one more running back, and then we'll get to my 7, and I'll explain to you what I'm talking about. Because there's a running back in this class that it will explain this a lot better.
Oh, the pass catching?
Yes.
All right. Let's go number 6.
Cam Scattaboo.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to be 100% honest with him because, like I said, I don't like comps, and you're going to hear me say that like 4 times through this because this is a running back class where I feel like there are a lot of comps that really make sense. The one on Cam Scattaboo is Kyron Williams. He's really small. He's really balanced. He's not crazy fast, but I think he's going to be productive in the NFL. He's a productive running back. We watched him at the Peach Bowl, and I kept telling you and my wife, you keep talking about how they're bottling up Cam Scattaboo. They know exactly what's coming, and he's still getting 4 yards at a clip. And that should tell you a lot because Texas is way better than Arizona State. And the next thing you knew, he had, 130-something yards in that game?
Yep.
Threw
a touchdown pass as well.
Yep, weird. And he does that a lot. He can run through contact. He can run around contact. He's a really good receiver. The problem is he is a little stiff. And I have the same reservations about him that I had about Kyron Williams. Now, where the difference is going to fall in is I'm not going to push him down as far as I pushed down Kyron Williams. And I was still 3 rounds ahead of where he got drafted. Because if you remember, I liked him a lot. Then he ran super slow.
Yeah, what, he ran a 4.79 or something?
It was like it was high 4.6s, low 4.7s. It was bad.
Right.
Scattaboo's just not going to run. So you're going to have to watch the tape to figure him out because I don't think his time 40 would be any better. I think he would be in the high 4.6s. And you see a guy that's that size, and that is alarming. But, man, that kid's really productive. And he was at a school that there was not a ton of help around him. You knew it was coming on every down, and a lot of times you just couldn't stop it.
Right.
Not as good of a pass pro as I would like him to be either.
Okay. Cam Scattaboo at 6. Let's go number 7.
This is the Jeremy special because I think I love him more, as much, if not more so, than anybody not in his family loves him. Brashard Smith from SMU.
Mm-hmm.
Converted wide receiver. He was a wide receiver at Miami. He transferred to SMU, had not played running back since high school, and then in the ACC went out and ran for 1,300 yards.
Mm-hmm.
That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Had 21 15-plus yard carries last year. And then we get to the thing I was talking about with Travion Henderson. Mm-hmm. We're at a point that we have so many stories like Brashard Smith because there are 3 other guys that are in my top handful that either were receivers or they can play receiver. That's a different kind of receiver than Travion Henderson. Travion Henderson can get the ball out in space, and basically all you're doing is throwing him a pass that is a really elongated pitch. Brashard Smith can beat corners. Travion Henderson cannot beat corners.
Correct.
That's an elite receiver. That is a modern day NFL receiver because that kid can play out wide in 5 receiver sets, and that tips off the defense. You wind up with a light package, and then I bring him back into the formation with a linebacker. He's going to make that linebacker miss, and I got a 5-man box. That is modern day NFL football. And I'm telling you, this kid's not going to go as high as where I have him ranked should merit. And a team 3 years from now is going to be really happy they have him. He may never be the best player on your fantasy football team, but the NFL team that has him is really going to be glad they have him.
But you got to have enough foresight to use him that way.
How do I put this delicately? I've been told I can be a little crass.
Sure.
If you draft Brashard Smith and you don't know how to use him, you're too stupid to work in this league. I mean, look, because he's thin. He's a converted receiver. He's not a huge guy. How else are you going to use him? He's not a bell cow running back. You're going to have a between the tackles guy. He's a mismatch guy. But he's such a good mismatch guy that's why I have him so high.
All right, let's go number 8.
I had a frog in my throat. Let's see. And I lost my place. Isn't that great? Isn't it great when things just go? Dylan Sampson out of Tennessee. I am not as high on him as some others are. He has some of the same problems that I have with Ashton Jeanty because he's only 5'8".
Okay.
I mean, Dylan Sampson's a small dude. I think he has... I don't know that he'll ever be the head of the snake.
Is he a small dude?
No, he's 200 pounds. I mean, him and Jeanty have
pretty-
very similar... Jeanty's actually heavier than him.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Jeanty's 215 pounds legit. Dylan Sampson is... Every time I watched him on tape, I wanted to love him, and I never did.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to think, oh, this guy's been so productive in the SEC. He can do so many different things. And really what I saw was a one-cut zone running back that if you put him in that zone scheme and he can make that one clear-cut decision and just run, we're great.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he is a great pass blocker. He's another willing blocker.
Mm-hmm.
And he has good feet and good balance. I also don't know that he can hold up to 200 carries a year. And the problem with Dylan Sampson, and this does play into my ranks. I universally see him in the top 5 or 6, and I don't think he belongs there. Because I have him really close to the next guy on my list. They're within spots of each other on my final board. And then there are a handful more behind him that have way higher ceilings.
All right, who's close at number 9?
The close one's DJ Giddens out of Kansas State. There are a few guys every year. The Amon-Ra St. Brown team, oh, by the way, will be out next week.
Okay.
We will have that will be my favorite players in the draft. I don't know exactly what day. Tank and I have not talked about this yet. But that will be one day. And the following day will be the Baker Mayfield team. These are the guys that I don't get it, I'm not going to get it, and I'm going to keep telling you I don't get it.
Right.
Not saying they're not good. I'm just not as high on them as they should be. DJ Giddens is almost invariably going to be one of the running backs on the Amon-Ra St. Brown team. He's built exactly how I want a running back to be built. 6'1", 212, got tree trunk legs. His combine workout was out of this world. And nobody really talked about it. And I think the reason nobody talked about it is because he only ran a 4.43. 4.43 at his size is elite. Then you get into the other measurables. He had a 39.5-inch vert. He had a 10.10 broad jump. And he had a 4.33 20-yard shuttle. You know what all those numbers tell me? This kid's legs are out of this world. And when you watch him on tape, it really shines through. He's going to be able to get those extra yards. He's got really good balance. I think he can be a high-end receiver. I think he's a 3-down running back. Problem is there is some miss in him because he's not great at breaking tackles right now, and he really doesn't have that streak. He doesn't have that mean streak that I want a running back like this to have. He's going to have to develop that, and if he doesn't, he will never live up to his potential. I think DJ Giddens can be a top 20 running back in this league, but he needs somebody like Deuce Staley in his face every day telling him to go get more because he can do it. I know he can do it. He just doesn't run that way. He tries to run the way you would think Ashton Jeanty would at his size, where it's almost, it's not that he's allergic to contact. He doesn't have that pop. And then he gets one-on-one out in space, and I don't see you lean into the contact. You're trying to run away from it, and
or spin around it. I've seen several plays where he tries to spin around it, but he doesn't. Maybe he didn't time it right on these plays, or maybe he just doesn't have that in his quiver. But he does that thing where he tried to spin away from the contact and then just gets matered right in the hip. And I see that and I go, oh my God, Zach Bond might put you in the hospital.
And that's really where he needs to. He's another one that if he was in that one cut system where it's almost like the decision's made for you, and instead of trying to generate your own extra yards with your wiggle, it's generated because it's blocked for you.
Yep.
Now, I think he's going to go to the league and see way better offensive line play than he's ever seen before. Oh, by the way, his quarterback was also a mulleted goober that liked to run a lot. And I just don't think he fit what Kansas State was doing. He's one of my favorite. I think he'll be a very high-end day 3 pick. He's one of my favorite players in day 3.
DJ Giddens is number 9 on the Flostradamus running back list for the 2025 NFL Draft. Number 10.
Another one of my favorite players, Devin Neal from Kansas.
Oh yeah, he's one of my late round guys that I'm gonna be really interested to see where he goes.
All right, so what is it that you like so much about Devin Neal?
I like his shiftiness, and when he makes, it's like he doesn't have to make 4 cuts like some running backs try to do to make you miss. He's real quick with making you miss, and then when he does, you better have somebody behind you.
The biggest problem,
because he can house it.
The biggest problem that I have with Devin Neal is I feel like he plays in a way that his body frame does not necessarily lend to, because he's not fast. His 10-yard split was fine. That was a 1.59, I believe. He ran a 4.59.
Okay.
That's not fast for a running back. He is a bigger kid. He is I would say, patient runner that's not always decisive. He's another one, though. If I look at things that he can control, he can't control the offensive line. He can't control the fact he's at Kansas, and they had a deficiency talent-wise a lot of the time. He can't control that. He also can't control the fact he had 3 different quarterbacks in 2 years at Kansas. I'm not sure that physical limitations aren't going to get him to where he has to be a part of a rotation, but I think he will be a really nice piece of a rotation.
Number 11.
You know that this is my honey hole of running backs. This is where Jeremy's taking a running back. My 11 is Rocket Sanders.
Rocket.
You know I love him. You got to hear me wax poetic about him while we were at South Carolina for 60 full minutes.
Yep.
I'm way higher on him than the industry is because I think there's so much to his game that we've never seen before. South Carolina had a lot of stuff. And I go back to when he was at Arkansas, I saw a more decisive runner. He's always been elusive. The medical is the problem with him. It seems like he gets hurt every 3rd game. And he would miss time. He only played 6 games in 2023. He only missed a game in 24. But it seemed like he went out of games a lot. I would like to see the medical. If the medical's clear, he's probably 3 spots higher for me. But the medical may very well take him off the board for a good number of teams.
Number 12.
It's R.J. Harvey out of Central Florida. I don't know that I've heard anybody talk about him in anything more than passing. The more you dig into his tape, and he's another shorter guy because he's only 5'9" and some change. The more you dig into his tape, the more you go, good Lord have mercy, I wish you'd played at a bigger school. He ran in the last 2 years for 3,000 yards. He had 1578 in 2024. He had 1417 in 2022 or 23, excuse me. He also had 38 touchdowns on a team that was terrible. I'm not sure why he doesn't get more love. I think it's because he was statistically more impressive than he is physically. But I don't have a lot of knocks on him other than the size. He is short, and I do not love short running backs. But he's an absolute playmaker. And you just watch him at Central Florida and go, if you had done this in the SEC, we'd be talking about you with these other guys. The problem is that I don't know if you could have done that in the SEC. And that's where the projection comes in. He's another 4th, 5th round running back. We're going to hit a point where we have running backs about every 4th pick because there are so many of them in this class.
All right, and the final one of the top 13.
Is this the final one, or was that for some reason I thought that was
RJ
11.
Harvey was 12. This is
apparently 13. I can't count. Byshell Tootin is my 13. I get it. He's freakishly fast. And I think when he ran that ridiculously fast 40, it started funneling him up boards to a point that it's too high. I get it. He ran a 4.32. He's otherworldly fast. He's not a real big guy. Another one that's in that. We thought he was 5'11". Yeah, then he measured at the combine. That's the beauty of the combine. There's no hiding from that tape. He's 5'9". He's 5'9", about 205 pounds. That's fine because you are a little thicker built than most 5'9" running backs. He needs to be in a one-cut system, and he really needs to learn how to stop. He wants to hit a home run on every play. There are no singles with him. And it's infuriating to watch at times. He is also, and now I'm going to say this as nicely as he can, as nicely as I can. He is absolutely god-awful in pass pro. Like to almost a borderline comical point. And he fumbles a lot. He had 9 fumbles in 2 years. But man, if you get him in the right kind of scheme where you can really take advantage of the fact that he is a horse in terms of when he gets out in space, you will not catch him because he plays fast. That's the reason I didn't move him up the board that much when he ran so fast. I already knew he was fast. You watch him on tape, it's not hard to figure out that he's fast. The question is, can he hold up to the rigors of an NFL schedule? And can he learn how to do all the things that will get you on the field? It is hard to get a guy on the field if they can't pass block at all. What got him on this list? He's one of the best kick returners in this class. So I could easily see him going over running backs that are better than him because they think they can teach him some of the nuance of playing running back. And in those first 2 years, you're going to return a lot of kicks, and you're probably going to take a few of them to the house. You know who he reminds me of? And I'm a little biased here because this guy now plays for my team. You remember how in love I was with Kenny Nwangwu?
Yes.
Now plays for the Jets. Just got a contract extension. What up, Kenny? Byshell Tootin kind of reminds me of that because his floor is safe because I know he's going to be a really good return guy. All right, if he turns into Leon Washington, another Jet. What up, Leon? I'm good with that. You're freak fast. You can't do a lot of the things, but man, when I get the ball in your hand, some really good stuff can happen. Leon Washington had a long career in the NFL. And that's my player comp on Tootin is, okay, if he comes in, he's the 2nd or 3rd best kick returner in the league, has 100 snaps a year, 100 touches a year as a running back. Is that worth a 4th round pick? Because I think it is.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. We will be back with you on Monday. Have a great weekend. Don't forget, tomorrow, 135 Cox Avenue, 5 o'clock to 10:30, the To Hell with Helene party. Jeremy and I will be there, and we want to see you there as well. Have a good one.
Your stomach is a mess, and you feel lousy. Something is just off, but you don't
All right, we're clear.
get it. You've tried every fad diet and supplement under the sun, and none of it worked. Here's the truth. Your gut's a mess, and your body is letting you know. You're just too busy, and you ignore this.
I don't know, probably 4:30.
Plan that actually works. Your gut is how your body processes everything that you consume. Stop ignoring the signs. It's time to do something real. Get Viome and fix your gut now. Call Star Gut to get $50 off a full body intelligence test. That's star 488 to receive a link to the offer.
Listeners are always asking about QC Kinetics treatment.
You do that.
If they should consider it for their joint pain. If you're wondering if you are a good candidate, let's see if you answer yes to any of these questions.
Sure.
Is your quality of life impacted by chronic pain in your knees, hips, shoulders, or other joints, trouble sleeping, walking day-to-day movement. Next, do you want to avoid surgery and all of the pain, long recovery, and uncertainty that comes with it? And most importantly, do you miss doing things you love because joint pain is holding you back? Walking, golfing, jogging? If you answered yes.
Nope. Sounds like a nightmare.
So please don't wait. Call QC Kinetics right now. Ask for your free consultation. Learn how the latest...
All right, take it easy.
Restorative medicine can get you lasting pain relief with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. Call 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517 in Asheville and Greenville.
If you or a loved one have been a victim of crime, the North Carolina Department of Public Safety Office of Victim Compensation Services provides programs to help you find peace of mind. We're here to help you apply for benefits that you may qualify for to recover from hardships such as lost wages and medical expenses. To learn more, visit ncdps.gov/4victims. That's ncdps.gov/4victims.